Okay, so hi everyone, good morning, and I believe I'm audible and visible to all of you. Yeah, so please confirm if I'm audible and visible. Okay, so good morning. Yeah, I think chat is open for all. You can chat even in between and directly to me. Okay, so last week uh, we had a holiday, and I believe you all have enjoyed your festival. And this week again, we are going to start with the class again from the same place where we left. So anyone who can tell me like what we have discussed in a previous class, not last week, last to last week, what we have discussed? Yeah. So autogen fine tuning. Yeah, autogen, I believe I have discussed on Saturday, and then on Sunday, I believe I was talking about different kind of fine tuning, right? So we have prepared a data set. Apart from preparing a data set, so we have even like tested a model, I believe. And we have seen that how we can try to do a different kind of fine tuning, like a full fine tuning, LoRa based fine tuning, Cora based fine tuning, or quantized fine tuning. So I believe this is something that we have discussed. Yeah. Okay. So we'll try to start from the same place, and today we'll try to focus on the same project. I believe code file is already available inside your dashboard. So if you will go to your last previous class, you will be able to find out a code file over there, which I have already shared. Yes, a model is not available in that code file. Reason is very simple. So if I'll show you my system, so where I have trained a model, so model size itself is around 24 or 25 GB, which I remember. So yeah, 25, 24 GB is a huge like a data. So I have not shared a model file, but yes, all the other file is already available, and you can try to run the training, and then after running a training, so you will be able to do a inferencing with the model. Um, Yeah. Okay. So mathematical. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see those things. So let me share my screen, and let's start with that project. So here is my VS Code. Fine tuning final. Okay. So yeah, this is something that we were talking about, and we have talked about a data set. So we have prepared a different domain-wise data set, and we have even learned that what kind of a data set we have to prepare in case of a DPO or full fine-tuning LoRa preferred, or maybe a quantized LoRa. So this is something that we have already discussed. So data set is already available inside your code base. If you'll go and check, if you are going to download it, and even these fine-tuning files are also available. The only file which is not available is basically this models file, because this model file size is around 20 GB. It's a very huge whenever you are going to train the model. And it's not just one single model that we are training. So we are training like a 4 to 5 model altogether. And that was a reason. So that model file is not available. So you can just run the training. So to run the training, again, so I have also given you a file for that. So train all model.py. Apart from that, so we have a separate model training file, which is available over here. So deep for DPO, this one is the file. For full fine tuning, this one is the file. For LoRa, Prefet, and QLoRa, these are the separate files. So I'm just calling all of this file all together in one single file, which we have already discussed. So I don't think that we have to go through this discussion once again. Now, we are just trying to run all those py file all together. That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all together we are going to run all of this file, and this is going to take time. So if you are trying to do a training in your local system, maybe it is going to take around, depends if you have a i7 processor without a GPU. So in that case, it may take like a 2 hour of time for you to do a training in your local system. And if you are going to train this things on a GPU, so again it is going to take less time. So it depends upon the compute that we have, by the way. And we are not training for a very big number of epochs. So just for one or two epoch only, this is going to take that much of time in your local system. If you are having i7 kind of a processor, in case of i5, maybe like depends. Again, it will go for maybe a 5 hour, 6 hour to train these models. And this zip file is already available, so you can go and look into that zip file, which is already available inside your previous section or previous class resource section, by the way. Now what we are going to do today, so today we'll try to focus on basically serving all of these models. So technically, if we are able to build a model, so as of now, let's suppose we have built a model in a local system. So after building a model, so we have to do a inferencing. So we have to do a, and we have also tested those models, right? We were like able to send our data, and then we were able to get a response. But that's okay. So we have to do a inferencing, by the way. Inferencing means, so maybe through a API, so we have to expose all of those model to the outer world, right? So first of all in a local system, and then same thing should work even on a cloud platform. So on any cloud platform where we are going to deploy. And this is where this API server.py file comes into a picture. So here, summary wise, if I'll tell you, so we are not doing anything much over here. So summary wise, so we are just trying to expose all of our trained model to the outer world with the help of fast API. And I believe we all are aware about a fast API. So this is something that I'm going to discuss in today's class. Second thing is, so we have a Docker file basically. So Docker is going to help me out in terms of doing a containerization. So I'll be talking about that containerization part as well, that why we do Docker things basically, so that I can build one single image, and then on any cloud platform, means literally any cloud platform, I will be able to deploy it, I will be able to host it. And again, so if something is available over a cloud, it always gives me a ease of use, right? So I will be able to consume it anywhere. And similar kind of a system we are going to learn, so when we will get into a project, because project is a part of your syllabus, right? So let's suppose if I'm talking about a URI like chat system, so obviously URI like chat system requires not just one single model, a multi model, right? Because inside URI we have given you a multiple model selection, by the way, and around those models, so we have attached a multiple features, right? Maybe for a file uploading feature, we have attached where you can try to give just a voice command, and then you will be able to chat, and many more things, right? But yeah, everything is going to happen across our LLMs. Now, so if I'll talk about a URI like system, so in that kind of a system, we have a proprietary model which is not an open one, right? For example, we have given you an access of chat GPT kind of a model. Those models are proprietary model, especially if I'll talk about a chat gpt 4 and 5 series, right? I'm not talking about a OSS like a model basically from chat gpt. So you have to go through a exact similar kind of a approach. Means there won't be any kind of a differences. Means there won't be any kind of a differences. Plus, majority of you, when you are going to join an organization, again, if someone is going to ask you, which obviously people will, right? Because that is going to be your day-to-day task. So you have to train your model, and at that point of a time, you are not going to do anything different except this. So this one which we have discussed, so you can use a same code base. Yeah, in terms of data, obviously you are going to pass your own data, but yes, in a same format, right? Same format means I was reading a data into my as a key value pair into my code file, right? So data preparation is going to be same. It is not going to change at all with respect to these kind of a training that we have done. Apart from that, your fine tuning script is not going to be different. Yeah, parameter wise, obviously you all are going to play with the parameter, which we have already discussed, I believe, in my previous class, that whatever parameter, whatever number of epoch, logging step on optimizer, whatever we have taken, so obviously you have a flexibility, so where you can change it, and then eventually you will be able to train the model. That is the only changes which you will have to do if you are training a model for some of the businesses. And again, so testing wise or like hosting wise, so it's a similar kind of approach, Docker or Kubernetes approach you are going to apply. This is something that we do, and then we try to leave a system on auto scale, so that so whenever there will be more demand, so obviously system will try to spin some additional machine, and then it is going to serve the technically it is going to serve the request or serve the traffic. Similar thing we have done even in case of a Uri. So some models is a proprietary model, some model is a self-hosted model, and yeah, so we are able to call both the models. So in case of proprietary model, so we don't have to worry much. There are a lot of providers, so we can just try to integrate their APIs, and then it will be able to serve it. In case of like a open source model, so we download the weight file, and then after downloading a weight file, so we try to host it in some of our own environments. And again, so whenever you chat, so it is going to hit my environment. Technically, this is something which is going to happen. And around that, so all of these features we can try to attach. As simple as that. So shall we start, guys? Shall we start with the API? Yeah. That's a summary. I believe we have like a revised everything. So those who were not able to like recall things, because I know it's like it's been 14 days for us, right? Not 14, 12 days maybe. Yeah. Okay. So here you will be able to find out one file called as API underscore server.py file. Now, why I'm using this one? So I'm just trying to like, expose my entire model to the outer world. And again, approach is very same, like a fast API approach. So where we all know that just try to give a route, and then at that particular route, something will be available. Some function will be called at that particular route. As simple as that, right? So here what we are trying to do, so we are trying to do all the imports, and again in terms of deployment, all the other files will not be required. Yeah, so you just need a requirement deployment file, you just need a model file, that's it. Data set is not required at the time of deployment. This fine tuning script is not required at the time of deployment. So at the time of deployment, you can like remove these files, and you have to just keep a model file, and then this API server file, and then if I'm like deploying it as a Docker, so in that case you just need a Docker and requirement.txt file. That's it. The rest of the file you can remove it, you can delete it, or maybe create a separate folder and leave it over there, right? Depends. So here what we are trying to do, so we are basically trying to like call all the fast API related things, and we are just trying to call a PyTorch over here, so that I will be able to do like a fine like exposure of the model. And here, so we are trying to create the app. So we are trying to create basically a fast API app over here, and we have just given a title, description, and a version. Simple. And with the help of this object, so I will be exposing each and everything to the outer world. Now here we are trying to add a course, which is not required for my local system, by the way, but yeah, this is required. So when I'm going to host a model on some cloud platform, so that it will be able to allow every kind of a traffic to my server basically. So this is like this is something which I'm trying to like add, which is an optional one only for a deployment. Now here, so we are trying to make it pydantic. So here we are trying to say that there is a inference request and there is a inference response. So whenever someone is going to request it, so what kind of a data they are supposed to send. So this is basically a data validation that we are trying to do, and this is where this pydantic class comes into a picture. So here we are saying that, okay, so user is going to send a query, user is going to say like what is the maximum token, what should be the temperature, and what should be the top choice it should yield basically. And when model is going to give a response, so it is going to follow this one. So model, then query, then response, and then token generated. So this is something that model will give, and this is something that model will take as a input, and we have made it as a pydantic. Apart from that, so what we are doing, we are trying to basically catch the model, so that every time, so whenever user will chat, so it should not load a model, because size is going to be maybe a little bit big. So what I'm saying that okay, fine, so for now just try to load a model once, and then keep on hitting that particular model. But ideally it is not a good approach. I have done that so that I can make my life a little bit easier, but this is not a good approach, because you are trying to give a load on a client side in general. So we generally do a server side catching, not a client side catching. But yeah, this is not an ideal approach, but still we have implemented it. This is one of the approach, you can say, for maybe like doing a inferencing in a fastest possible manner, so that only once just load the model, and then eventually keep on doing a inferencing with that model, so that user will feel a lag only for a first time. Second time user will not feel a kind of a lag, basically. So this is just one variable we have created. But in general, when we'll try to bring something on a production, so we'll try to do a server side catching. Maybe we can try to use a Redis as a service over there, and then in that case, nothing is going to happen on a client side, means user side. So that user will not feel, because if I'm trying to download a 5 GB kind of a model on a user side, so again, if user system is not that strong, they will feel a lot of like a lag over there. So this is one of the problem that we are going to face in this kind of a approach. Now, so base model, so this is the model that we have trained. So by default, this model will be available. And then here, so what we are trying to do, so we are trying to like create just a configuration, means we are just trying to like say that where my model is available. So my HR model is available at this path. So wherever I'm keeping this model, so as of now, I'm keeping all of this model inside my model directory. So inside model, so there is a HR model, there is a healthcare model, marketing model, or let's suppose we have a sales model. So yeah, so we are just trying to like give a path, and then what is the type of the model, and little bit of description just for my understanding purposes. So this is just like a key value pair we have created for HR, for finance, for sales, for a healthcare, and same. Let's suppose for marketing. So let's suppose if I have a model in some different places, in that case, just change the path. Nothing much, right? So wherever your model file is available, weight files are available, just try to change, because this is the only area of interest for me. I need just a path wherever my model is stored. That's it. So this is a model configuration. Now what I will do, so I'll just try to like call a load model. So whenever I'm trying to load a model, so first of all it will try to check into a catch. So this is the catch variable which we have created, right? So it will try to look into the catch. If model is available, the model which I'm looking for, right? If I'm going to pass a model name, and if model is available inside a cache, so obviously it is supposed to return a model from a cache itself. If not, right, if not, then it is supposed to go for a model config, by the way. So this one, right, model configuration with a model name, and then it should give me basically a model path and a model type, basically. So what is the path of the model, so that I will be able to discover the model, and what is the type of the model. If not, then this 404. So basically model not found, right? So if that model is not available, so in that case, just give me 404 over here. Now, so again, we are trying to do a check on a model path, as you can see. So if model path is not available, so again, give me 404. So this is just an error handling that we have done, that if model is not available, then what should do? If model path is not available, then what you are supposed to do over there. As simple as that. Now, once this is done, right? Once this entire thing is done, then what we are trying to do. So obviously, as a user, you are going to pass a input, and you are going to pass a input into a text, basically in a NLP manner, right? You are going to pass a data, you are going to pass a input. So obviously we have to tokenize those data, because at the end of the day, system is not going to understand your English language or any other languages. System is going to understand just a token, a numbers, right? So we are supposed to use a same tokenizer that we have used at the time of training of the model. It should not be a different tokenizer, and I believe this understanding is clear to all of us. We have like seen this kind of a scenario not just one or two times, but multiple times, right? So we are trying to call a same tokenizer from the model path, and basically we are going to tokenize our data set. So whatever data which someone is going to. So this is just a tokenizer object which we are trying to load, so that I can use it at the time of sending or doing a inferencing with respect to the model. Now, so load model based on the type. So here, which model I would like to call, LoRa, preferred Q LoRa, or maybe a DPO. So here it is going to load a model for me. So base model name, and then device map and touch type. It's a float 16-bit model. For a preferred model, we are going to load it. Now, once model is, so this is for a base model, just for the base model, right? And otherwise, so from a pre-trained model, we are going to load a model over here. This is just a model checks or model load we are trying to load for full fine tune model. So this is approach means this function is going to be same. It's not like a very different. We are just trying to call a model one by one, one by one, one by one. That's it. Now, so here again model.cache, so tokenizer, config, everything is fine. So technically it is going to return me a model, as simple as that. It is going to return me the model. Now, so this is one of the function just to load the model. Now another function we have over here, so which is going to generate the response once it will be able to load the model. So now to generate our like a response, we need a model name. We have to pass the query, right? We have to even define what is the maximum token it should yield, and temperature, and then a top responses, right? So here load model wise, so we are going to call a load model function so that model will be loaded, and then once model will be loaded over here, we are going to basically tokenize the uh, data. So we are going to call the tokenizer over here, and then we are going to prepare a prompt. So we are trying to pass a prompt inside a tokenizer, and it is going to return me a input. Now here, so we have basically like a approach where we are trying to check whether we have a CUDA available or not, means GPU available or not for a fast inferencing. So if GPU is available, so in that case, this is going to be true, and if that is going to be true, so in that case, it is going to basically take this input, the input that we have, a key value pair kind of an input that we have, and then it is going to basically prepare the final input. Now, if we don't have a CUDA available, so in that case, basically again, so whether we have a CUDA available or not, basically it will try to come to the next section, and it will be able to do inferencing even with respect to the CPU. So here we are trying to call model.generate. We are trying to pass input inside the model, a maximum token, temperature. So all this parameter that we have passed over here inside this function. So we are just trying to call it. We are just trying to call it, and this is going to yield me an output. So once I will be having an output, I will just try to do a reverse tokenization. So where I will be able to convert my output into a English, by the way, and yeah, so I'm going to showcase that particular response to my user. So this function is going to return two things. One is a response, English response, and then a token generated it is going to create. So this is the two major function that we have basically created. Only two major function. Now once this function is ready, I have to expose it. I have to expose it to the outer world. So here what we are trying to do, so we are trying to call our app, and at a route location, at a home location, so we are executing this function. So where you will be able to see just a information, yeah. So if you are going to hit the route, you will be able to see just this information. So whatever information that we have mentioned over here. So these are the endpoints which is available. Plus, if you will go and check inside the docs, so you will be able to see these paths, and on this path you will be able to access a different kind of models. So this is just for the home directory. Now, so if you are going to hit this particular path, API/model, then you will be able to list down all the models. Simple. This function will become as a return. I'll show it to you that part I'll show you. So just wait for some time. If you are going to hit this path, health path, so you will be able to get a health of the model, and if GPU is available, model is loaded or not, all of these things. So whatever I have mentioned over here, so you will be able to see that. If you are going to hit this particular path, means you will end up hitting my HR model basically. So you will go and do a HR inferencing. So it will call generate response, and generate response is calling a load model by default. Yeah. So you are supposed to provide these inputs, query, maximum token, temperature, and top P, and then it is going to give you the final responses. As simple as that. And it is going to give you the final response. If someone is going to hit my API/finance, so in that case, finance model will be called. So template is exactly same. There is no differences in a templates. You will be able to find out. Now, so if someone is going to hit API/sales, so in that case, sales model will be invoked. It's the same thing over here. If someone is going to hit this path, API/healthcare, so in that case, healthcare model will be invoked. If someone is going to hit my API/marketing, so in that case, marketing model will be invoked, and then Again, so here API.infer model name. So in that case, generic inferences will be invoked over here, as simple as that. So here, whenever we are going to start, so on a startup, what we are trying to do, so we are trying to preload the model. So this is just another additional function I was testing for my testing purpose. So I have created these functions, although it was not like important by the way, but yeah. So default model we are trying to load, just another function over here, and then just run it. Yeah, so just run it, and after running it, you will be able to see the inferencing. So hope this makes sense to most of us. Yes, everyone. I'll take a doubt, so don't worry. I'll do that. But before that, let me uh, run these things and then show you the output, like how we can do a testing with the help of APIs. Let me show it to you, that particular part. Now, I have also prepared, I think this file was not prepared in my previous upload. So I have just prepared yesterday night, where one file and you will be able to see a summary. README file was available, but yeah, still I have just modified a lot of things inside my README file, right? So here, basically, if I have to like run this entire things, even maybe after an year, right, so that you don't have to struggle. Keeping that in mind, I have prepared a README file so that in a easiest possible manner, you all will be able to do a training. So first of all, you have to do a requirement.txt installation. Second, this is for API. So I have created two requirement.txt, one at the time of training and one for a inferencing. For training, so we need little bit more files. We need little bit more like a installation. For testing, if we are just doing an inferencing, so we don't need much. We just need a fast API over here, pydantic and related libraries. That's it. So if I'm just doing a testing over here. So this is something which I have mentioned. Then if you have to call all the training, so you can try to basically call this train all model.py file. So automatically it is calling my fine tuning file. So I'm doing all this training all together. If I just wanted to do a DPO training, so in that case, simple call Python, go inside this directory or give a fully qualified path and then just try to call Python DPO fine tuning.py. It will execute. Simple, very, very simple. So for any given fine tuning, if you would like to call all the fine tuning together, then this is the command. And I think this is just a Pythonic command, right? I have also created a bat file. So where technically it is calling this Python file itself, but it's a window compatible file. So without even running a Python code, just double click, it will work. Those who are working in a Linux or maybe into a Mac machine, so you can just try to call this sh file, right? So script file you can try to call and then it is going to start the training. Technically, it is trying to call this one. As simple as that. If you will go and check my file that I have created, so here it is not doing anything different. So starting all the model training and one by one, it is trying to call all the training. It's the same thing it is trying to do, right? It's just a clickable file I have created, a bat file, or you can say a sh file for a Linux kind of a system. So individual model training, I have also given you this one command, but yeah, it's just a Python command. So Python and then call that py file. Now here, basically, so if you would like to do a training into H100 kind of a GPU environment, right? GPU kind of an environment. So in that case, just try to call this sh file and it is going to basically do the training. So once training will be done, means once your model will be available here. So once these models are available over here, then we have to do a inferencing. To do a inferencing, simple API server.py file, which I was talking about just now. So call that particular py file, and at this location, you will be able to see all of your model plus endpoint that I have created. So this is called as endpoint, right? This is how you were even able to access your URI, right? At some endpoint. So these are the endpoint which I have created for finance, sales, marketing, healthcare, HR model, and to just get a health of the model. So you can just try to hit the endpoints after running this particular file. So let me run this file as we are here, right? And let's see. So Python API server.py file. Yeah, so as you can see, my server has already started and my server is up and running at 8000 port number. Now let me go to my 8000 port number and let's hit it. Okay, so here I'm able to see something, right? Credit print, and yeah, so this is a base message which I have set, which I'm able to see over here. So now this is coming from my root, by the way. Yeah, so at my root, these are the messages which I'm trying to see, right? Which I'm trying to showcase, by the way. So yeah, all of these messages is visible at my root. Yeah, and GPU, so CPU only. So in a CPU only mode, it is like running my entire model. It is not able to detect a CPU inside my system for now, basically, right? And these are the endpoint. So whatever I was like trying to print, so all of these things are available over here. Now, if I have to go inside docs, because Fast API provides you that, so I can try to go to this root slash docs, right? So that I will be able to see a Swagger UI over here. So here is my Swagger UI. So where all of these routes are available, and one by one, so I can try to even test these models, right, from my Swagger UI itself. So for example, if I have to test a HR model, so maybe I can try to select this HR, I can click on try this out, and query wise I can try to provide a query that what is a leave policy, leave policy, and maybe I can send this like a data to my model, and let's see. So what is the response I will be able to get? Okay, so it is telling me JSON invalid. I think I have missed this double quotes here while sending a string. Execute once again. Yeah, so now it's like loading my model, and even I can come back and check over here. Okay, so yeah, what is the leave policy? So that was my query, right? To HR model, by the way, and these are the responses based on the training I'm able to get. So this path is working fine for me. Simple, right? So anyone and everyone can call a HR model. Path is up and running. It is able to like I'm able to test it basically. Similarly, you can try to test your finance model, you can try to test your sales model or any other model. At the end of the day, what I just need a path. Simple. So I just need this endpoint, right? So as of now, this is my local endpoint and it is working. So if I'm going to host it over a cloud platform, so this local host 8000 will become my global endpoint. So slash API slash HR. So anyone can hit this endpoint and then they will be able to talk to my HR model. So I believe this part we all understand, right, guys? Yeah. So I don't think that like we should talk about this one because we have started our entire generative AI class with API, right? So we all understands that API part. We all understands that what is the meaning of this curl. We all understands that if we are going to host this entire solution on some cloud platform, so this is going to change, right? This will become IP address or maybe a domain name that we are going to map, and this is how even Yuri is working, right? So this is how even Yuri is working. So whenever you try to select a particular model, right, it goes in the same direction. It goes in the same way, right? If it is not a proprietary model, if it is a proprietary model, then we are directly calling their API. So from our system to their system, we are trying to like make a call back and forth over there. So I'm able to test my model in local, and that too even through an API I'm able to test it. So if it is working here, it should work and it must work everywhere, right? In whatever cloud platform I would like to like deploy this kind of a solution. But obviously, as my model size is very huge, it's big. So again, any free platform is not going to help me out in terms of doing a model inferencing. They are not going to provide you that much of compute which is required for this kind of a inferencing, even with maybe like a 10 requests per second. So we need a platform so where we can like deploy the way we try to deploy it on a production system. And this is where a next to I think next chapter comes into a picture. So if you will check your syllabus part here, we have mentioned all three cloud platform. So if you will go in this section, so Gen AI on cloud, so here hosting model on Azure, Vertex, and AWS Bedrock. So we'll try to understand even this part, that how we can host a model all on three cloud platforms, GCP or Azure or AWS. If I'll talk about our solution, so we are like using AWS, by the way. AWS is a default stack but that we are using, but in class I'll be talking about all three, that how we can deploy. Even I can use H100 or something like that, A100 or H200 kind of a system somewhere, and then we can try to go for the deployment. That is also possible. But yeah, that those chapters are already here. So let's not talk about much now. So fine, we are able to test this model, right? We are able to test this model, and everything is working, everything is up and running. Now what we have to do, so we have to send this model basically for a deployment. So here we can try to use a Docker approach, or we can try to use basically a Kubernetes approach. So any idea, guys, about a containerization? So what is the meaning of containerization? Any idea? Anyone? Yeah, anyone? So anyone who can tell me like what is the benefit I will be able to get? See, I'm able to test a model even in local, right? Without using any kind of a Docker, just fast API. Uh, so I can even host this model in this way, like the way I have tested it. So what is the need of a Docker over here? Any idea, guys? Yeah. So, okay, people are saying that creating a fixed environment, yeah, true. Building executable with inbuilt environment, that is also true. It will help you to keep all the dependency in one container. Means, yeah, one single like machine, you can say, a logical machine. Versioning, okay, easy to share and run on any system. It's a image which is independent of the system. Anyone can use it. Once, yes, that is actually a correct answer. So see, generally what happens. So I'm trying to run something in my system, and maybe you are trying to run something on your system, right? Our machine will be, or when I say machine, right, so our my operating system can be different, your operating system can be different. Maybe you are running same thing into a Windows machine, or maybe into a Linux, maybe into a Mac machine. Even in case of a Linux machine, there is a chances that your Linux is different, mine is different, your Mac OS version is different, mine is different. Windows machine wise, so my Windows environment is different, yours is different. So even with respect to a Windows, there is a chance that it will not work, right? If my window version is going to change, if my Linux version is going to change, if my OS version is going to change, right? So keeping that in a mind, there is a universal solution you will be able to find out, which is called as Dockerization, right? Which is called as basically Dockerization. So what it does, so basically it is going to help us out to create one single unified solution or system, you can say, right? A system. So although I am running these things in my Windows machine, and maybe you will end up running the same thing into a Linux machine, or maybe into a Mac OS. But so here, just go to a Docker file, right? Docker file, and let's try to understand at least once for all, because doesn't matter which project you are doing, whether you are doing project with respect to a data science or big data, or maybe data analytics, or maybe a web development, meaning of Docker is going to be same, right? And everywhere we are using a Docker. Now what it does, by the way, so as you can see, so we are trying to, right, so we are trying to set a image of our container, means OS of our container. Yeah, container means a machine, let's suppose a piece of hardware, right? So even I have a machine and it's piece of the hardware. Inside that, so we have an operating system. So in my hardware, so I have a Windows machine. But here for this particular project, I have defined this particular version. So this is a Linux version which I'm trying to use. Now, if I'm using this version and if I'm able to run in my system, so whenever you will run in your system, this version will be same, right? And this is where it will create a huge differences. It will become a system independent. Means even I'm running from a Windows machine, but still I'm using Ubuntu, right? Even if you run from a Mac machine, but you will end up using Ubuntu. And even if you are running maybe some other some Linux version, if you're trying to use maybe Fedora, maybe SUSE kind of a operating system, Linux machine, but still for this particular project, this is going to be the version. So this is a big differentiator you will be able to find out, and this is something called as Dockerization or containerization, right? That we are trying to create one box, one container. Now inside that box, I have already defined that, okay, this is going to be my operating system layer, right? And then we are installing all those dependencies inside it. So whenever even you are going to run it, right, the box is going to be same. Doesn't matter where you are running that box. So this is what a Docker is going to provide to you, by the way, right? So here we can set our own operating system. So here we are using Ubuntu. Every one of us are going to use some of the operating system, right? And once this is done, so then we are trying to set our working directory, so where our entire application will go. So this is going to be a machine. Inside this machine, so we are trying to set this app as a directory, and then we are trying to install all the dependencies just like a fresh machine, right? So let's suppose if I'm going to give you a new computer, a new laptop, you will do some Python installation, you will do all those dependencies installation. So similarly, we are trying to do all of these installation over here. Then CUDA is required, right? So CUDA is required, GPU support is required. So we are trying to install basically Torch Vision, Torch Audio, and even a CUDA over here. As you can see, link is already mentioned. So this is basically inside this directory. This is a directory available inside my Docker, basically the new machine which I have created, by the way, this one. Yeah. Now inside this, then what we are trying to do, so we are trying to copy the requirement.txt file to the home location, to a app location. That's the reason it's been written as a dot. So if you would like to copy your requirement.txt in some other location, so you can do that. So what it will do, so it will try to take this requirement.txt, the requirement.txt which I have over here, and then it will try to copy into that box, the box that we are trying, the virtual box, you can imagine the box that we are trying to create. So inside that, it is trying to copy that requirement.txt, and then story is going to be same. So even in your local system, what you will do, even in local system, you will do pip install requirement.txt. So we are trying to do pip install requirement.txt. So now till this part, our system will be ready, right? Our system will be ready with all the dependencies with this operating system. Basically, it will be ready. Now, once it is ready, so we are trying to copy the application code, basically. So whatever application code that we have over here, whatever code base that we are trying to send, so it is going to copy all of those code, and then we are trying to open up 8000 port to the outer world. That okay, so whatever you do, so just try to expose it to the outer world for me. Now, so once this exposure will be done, right? So here we are just trying to set something for GPUs. So CUDA visible device is equal to 0, PyTorch CUDA location configuration is equals to maximum split MB 512. So basically we are trying to allocate a memory for a GPU, right? And we are trying, so here we are, when we are saying CUDA visible device 0, it simply means that we are trying to restrict our container to use only GPU 0. So if multiple GPUs are available, we are saying that okay, just use a GPU number 0 over here. Don't try to use any other GPU, basically, right? And now, and then we are trying to run this one. So we are saying that try to run Python command, and then with that try to run API server, the things that we have just executed for our testing purposes, right? So API server.py file. So technically, we are not doing much difference, right? Much different thing over here. It simply means that we are trying to create a separate box, and inside that box, we are trying to configure each and everything so that if it will run in my system, it will run on every system in this entire universe. This is what we are trying to say. This is what we are trying to do over here. So this is my Docker file. Now, so this is going to help me out in terms of building the entire images. Now here, so we have a Docker compose file, right? So we have a Docker compose file, and again, so we can have, okay, before moving to this compose file, so let me know guys, if we have any kind of a issue with this. Yeah. So any question for me? For OS, how it works. So, okay, I'll tell you that part. I'll tell you that part. So we'll have to install a Docker, and then we have to build it. So technically, it is going to build a image with the help of our Docker app. Why we put CUDA is equal to 0? So we are putting CUDA is equal to 0 so that we are just trying to give like a kind of instruction that use GPU number 0 only. If I have a multiple GPUs in my system, so in that case, just try to use only one. So zeroth GPU, because GPU will be numbered in that way. Okay. Now, so this is one of the file. Now we have another file called as Docker Compose. Now many people will be confused between a Docker file and a Docker Compose over here. What is the difference between these two files? So see, this Docker file you can think as a kind of a file which will create one single machine, right? Or you can say in a technical term, it is going to create one of the images. Now here there is something called as Docker Compose that we have, and this is going to help me out in terms of in terms of, you can say, running a multiple or managing a multiple images at a time. So this is two differences you will be able to find out between a Docker Compose YAML file and this particular Docker file. So with the help of this YAML file, you will be able to run one container or one images you will be able to execute, or maybe you will be able to execute more images all together for a different purposes. This is the reason. So we have a YAML is nothing but just a configuration file, you can say. Yeah, just a configuration file that we are technically talking about. Okay, now, so moving to the next, how we will be able to build a Docker image. Now, so to build any Docker image in any machine, so first of all, you have to go to a Docker and you have to download a Docker for Windows, Linux, or Mac. It is available for all three machines, right? And this should be available inside your system. If it is not available, you will not be able to build a Docker inside your system. So this is the application which is already available, right? So you can go and you can download it for a Windows machine, you can go and download it for a Mac machine, you can go and download it for the Linux machine. Very simple. But yeah, after download only you will be able to perform any of these operations. So let me ping you this piece of link. So first download it, And even so, we are not going to use this Docker just now. So we are going to use this Docker things in almost all the project that is listed down inside your syllabus, right? It will be required, right? It will be required. So we are going to use it again and again and again. So simple, just go download, install it. And once you are going to install it, you will be able to see something like this. So I have already installed, right? I have already installed it over here. A couple of images are running in my system, in my machine. So even I was testing like yesterday night. So yeah, couple of things are running over here. This is this LLM APIs I have created. So just look at the size of one of my images. It's a 42.96 GB of image that I had ended up creating yesterday night itself. Yeah, yesterday night, when I was trying to test this entire piece of the code in my system. So here, first thing is that you have to basically install a Docker inside your machine and then start it. Yeah, install it and then start it. Once you are going to start, then only you will be able to build an image with respect to your project inside your system. Otherwise, you will not be able to build it. So how you will be able to build an images? Let me show you that part as well. So if you'll go to your README, I have clearly mentioned over here that if you have to build an image, a command is very, very simple. Where is a command? Yeah. So here, right, if I have to build a image, Docker image, so basically you have to go to your console and then Docker build -t LLM API latest. This is just a name I have given, right? So that it will start building your Docker images, and this is going to take quite a time, right? This is going to take quite a time for you. Now, once your image will be built, right, then you can try to just simply run. So start all the services. So Docker compose up and then D. So even Docker Compose up is going to work, but it will keep on giving you a log. So D is nothing but D is for running some processes in a background. This is the meaning of a D, by the way, in a background, right? So, and again, if you have to stop the services, so in that case, you can just say Docker Compose down and it is going to stop the service. Now, let me run this command Docker Compose up D. Docker Compose upd. So yeah, it will start loading the images for me, and you will not find any kind of a differences, by the way. So you will be able to see that you know like it's pretty much like a same the way we were able to test a fast API. It's the exact same thing, right? You all will be able to see it even over here. I'm using i3. Does it work? Yeah, Docker will work basically, but yes, it will take a lot of time. And before that, so you have to train these models, because I have this model in my system, but when I have shared a file with all of you, I haven't shared a model, because if I'll show you the size of only this particular file, it was around 20 GB. Where is the property option? Okay, here. Yeah, 29 GB. So 29 GB was the total model size, by the way. So I haven't shared this. It's not possible to share, basically. So and that's the reason. So I think I have asked you in the previous class that before coming to the next class, just try to train your model, which will take time. Even for my system, it was taking like a 1 or 2 hour of time. So for sure, for most of you, it is going to take like a more than 2 hour of time. So maybe you can just start the training and then go for a sleep, and then next morning you will be able to get your model. Oh, it is like a building once again. So it will take some time. 15-20 minutes is a minimum time it is like going to take. From where we need to download this model? You don't have to download the model. You have to run basically this file called as train all model.py file. This one, train file. So that it is going to create a model directory and file inside your system. Automatically it will create it. Everything is already configured so that it will create a file for you, because you are training it with your own data. So anyone guys who have done a training of this model, the fine-tuned model which I have discussed? Anyone? Yeah, because I have asked you to do that. That's the reason so I have shared a code file in my previous class. Yeah, no, no one. Okay, maybe you can try today. It was hanging in my system. Okay. I mean, like for most of you, so yes, it is like going to give you a issue. Better thing will be that go ahead with only one model at a time with one single epoch. So maybe instead of running this all, maybe just run one, maybe like a Quora. System not supported, so fine-tuned in OpenAI platform. OpenAI platform, so again, there will be a bottleneck. If you are doing a fine tuning with respect to OpenAI platform, because like it is like going to be available on OpenAI platform. It will not be like a data which will be available in your environment. So data is also going to OpenAI. Uh, so everything will be like going into the OpenAI. So it's better because ideally this is what we do. And again, so if your system is not supported, that's completely fine. We have already talked about H100, right? Hyperstack cloud platform. I believe you all have like used those platform for a model inferencing, right? In my previous classes, do it over there. Very simple. At least for 1 hour. At least for 1 hour, spin your machine in H100. Do a training there. Simple. When dockerizing, we are uploading a fine-tuned model as well as an entire folder. Yes, yeah. Means a complete image we will try to ship, basically. That is one of the way. So we can ship the entire image. That this is the reason. So we are saying that it will be system independent, right? So whatever is working in my system, it will work in other system as well. So we'll ship the entire like a. So we'll not ship the entire images. I would say we'll try to build a image over there. So in whatever platform we are going to deploy, we'll simply run the same command, docker compose upd. It will build an image over there for me. For fine tune any model, normally what should be the system configuration? I mean, like in general, obviously you need like a configuration where you have more than 16 GB of RAM at least, and then Core i7 or Core i9 processor, which is required. A latest generation. If you are going to do a model fine tuning, even for a small models, for a big one, even this configuration will not be sufficient. You have to go for a cloud option. Cloud is the only option that we have. For creating a Docker images, is it required to have a model folder locally? No, technically it's not required, I would say. But yeah, at the end of the day, you are trying to build a doc. Basically, it depends, right? So for what purpose I am building a Docker? So if I'm building a Docker for doing inferencing, and after for like running this api.server.py file, so if it's not available, then what we will like build for running with the CPU? What change Docker file needed? Nothing. So if CUDA is available, it will take it, as I am doing a installation dependency installation for a CUDA. If CUDA is not available, it will not take it. As simple as that. So still, it's like taking some time. It will take like time. 15-20 minutes is a minimum. So sometime Docker is going to take a less amount of time for you to, build it. And sometime you will be able to see that it is taking more time. And if you will observe closely, so where it has taken a more amount of time, any guesses, guys, why it is taking more amount of time for me? I think we all can see the reason over here, the highlighted one. So basically, it is trying to transfer or copy all the files, and my model file is around 29 GB or 30 GB. So this is the place where it has taken most of the time, right? Almost like a 10-20 minute of time. Then you can see that it is copying my requirement.txt file, and now it is running the pip installation, which is a small process, which is not going to take much of time, right? And even I have shown you that my image size is very, very big. So my image size is big because the data which it has copied was very, very huge. Technically, that data was my nothing but my model. Yeah, it was nothing but my model. And this is the place it has taken most amount of the time. So if my like a data file is small, the file which I'm transferring from local to that box, basically, it will not take like a, so sometimes you will see that Docker is like taking a couple of minutes of time only, or maybe second of time to build it. In my cases, it is taking more time because of the model. So model is basically a main culprit over here. After that, you will be able to observe everything. Port is already okay. So here, port is already allocated. So my 8,000 is already occupied. My 8,000 is already occupied, and because of that, failed what? So basically, it is telling me that my 8,000 is already occupied, and even inside a Docker, if you will go and check, so I have exposed to a 8,000 port number. This is what it is trying to tell. Let me fix that issue. Yeah, so this is running at 8,000. Okay, that's fine. Hmm. Okay. Maybe I can change this port itself, 8001. Okay, save it. Port is already allocated. Where is my YAML? Okay, so port 8002, 8000. Okay, so now it is telling me that fine tuning LLM API container is started. Okay, that's cool. So if it is started, I can go inside my Docker, I can go inside the container, and here, so I will be able to basically see if it has started. So as you can see, I have started this one on 8000 port number one. My 8000 was occupied. And here, so I will be able to observe something. If not, I'll have to build it once again. No, on 8001, it is UVCon. Let me change my host port and my container port. So my host port is this, my container port, I'll leave it as 8000 only. Okay, now it's working. So I've just changed my mapping as my port number was like. So here, if you will come inside my Docker, so you will be able to see that this fine tuning final is up and running. And I've just changed the port mapping for now because in my 8000, so something was already running. So it was occupied. So I have just mapped it Docker's 8000 to my 8001. So basically, here we are doing two port mapping. So the right hand side is basically this Docker port number, and this 8001 is nothing but it's my local system port number. So that whatever is running in Docker exposed to the outer world on this particular port. So this mapping is like that is something that we do all the time in Docker. Now, so exact same thing you will be able to find out. Nothing different, right? Nothing different. The only thing is this time we are running a complete Dockerized solution. I can even like check docs over here, right? And I can even hit my models and I will be able to do a inferencing. But every time, this time, so everything is running inside my Docker container as we can see, right? As we can see. And even you will be able to see like all the logs over here, or maybe you can try to call a Docker compose logs command and you will be able to see the entire log. So this is how we have like basically like dockerize the entire solution. Now if I'm able to dockerize this entire solution, it simply means that it will run everywhere, right? It will run everywhere. And inside a Docker, so when I was like a building it, so I have even mentioned a CUDA, right? So here you will be able to see that my Docker is able to identify a CUDA. So GPU available true. What GPU is available? So in my system, so I have RTX 4090, right? This is the GPU which is available inside my local system. And this is something that it is able to list down. So if you will go to my system, basically, you will be able to find out a GPU. And what is my GPU, by the way? So RTX 4090 is a GPU which is available, but that is available at GPU 1. I have a GPU 0. So by default, I have given that try to invoke a GPU 0. So it is not going to invoke my GPU 1, but yeah, even GPU 0, it is going to like invoke from there. Listing wise, so CUDA is able to, CUDA will be able to detect always a NVIDIA GPU, by the way. So that's the reason. So it is not a AMD or some other GPUs. It will be able to invoke because CUDA is a library created by NVIDIA. So it is like listed now on my NVIDIA GPU over here. Simple, right? So this is something that you will be able to find out inside the log. Now you will be able to hit your model the way you hit your model anywhere in this entire like world, by the way. And if I have to make it available to the entire world, so maybe I can try to use a ngrok, and with the help of this I can even expose my entire system as a server to the entire world. Or maybe I can go ahead with cloud deployment, and then I can try to make this model available to all of us. Yeah. Can I run any data size in Docker? See, Docker is just a software, right? Everything depends upon where I'm running a Docker. Simple. It's just a software, right? It's just a box, basically. It is like giving you a way to provision any kind of a operating system into it, right? And then any kind of a service installation or configuration, you will be able to do it. This is the only place Docker comes into a picture. So it is trying to make your solution universal, right? That if something is running in your system, it will run in others system as well. Because generally we face this kind of issues, right? That some libraries, some dependencies are working in my system, but it's not working in your system. Then someone with maybe a Linux operating system will come, and then they will say it's not working in my system. Then someone will Mac will come and they say it's not running in my system. So this is where Docker comes into a picture. As I have already mentioned, that whenever we are trying to create a Docker file, so we try to define a image that which operating system you should choose. Yeah. Now this operating system is going to be same. So it doesn't matter which operating system I have in my local. This is the operating system in which you will be running this application, only this application. I will be running this entire application. So yeah, so size depends upon where I'm running that Docker, basically. Now is saying 8000 to 8001. Please explain port mapping. See, here I have just changed the port mapping. The reason was very simple. You must have seen that I was getting an error. Why I was getting an error? I was getting an error because my 8000 port number was basically occupied. Where? In my host system. My host system, see, we have two systems now. Technically, we are talking about two systems. So one system is my host system. Host is my Windows machine. And then we have basically another system which is inside Docker, right? Where I'm running the solution. This is nothing but this is a Ubuntu machine. Now here the port number that you are able to see. So this port number belongs to host machine. So this 8001 belongs to host machine, and this is basically belongs to this machine. So inside my Docker 8000 port number was available. This is also a machine, right? Docker is nothing but it's a machine in itself, a box in itself, right? Just like you have a Windows. So this is completely fine. But in my host machine, 8000 port number was not available because I was running fast API, right? And even I was running fast API at 8000. So it was giving me an error saying that this port is basically occupied. So what I have done, I have just changed it. So here Docker gives you a provision. So you can try to change this one or this one, depends. So 8000 inside a Docker was fine. It was running. Now here, right? So here I have just changed this like a port number. Simple. Even inside a Docker, if you would like to change a port number, you can do that as well. So again, so you just have to go inside your like a fast API. Here, where is my API server? Yeah. So here we are doing 8000, right? So wherever this code will run, by default it will take 8000. So if it is running inside a Docker, it will take 8000, right? If I'm going to make it 8001, In that case, or 8002 or 8000 something, 8000X, in that case, even inside a Docker, it will run on that particular port number. And then I can like do a mapping with the outer world. So 8001 is a Docker file is hosted inside Docker. Nested port 8000 is available. So we are exactly, yeah. Docker is also a machine. Think that as a machine. Not think that as a machine. It is actually a machine, a box, right? So the way port works, we are just like doing a mapping that, okay, fine, whatever is running on 8000 inside a Docker, when it will come outside, because I'm trying to hit my Docker image from my local browser, right? This browser, which I'm trying to use. So this browser is not available inside my Docker. It's outside basically. So from outside world, I'm trying to hit my Docker images. And if in my outside world, port is occupied, so it will give me an issue. And just to fix it, I have changed the port number. If you're running for the first time, you will not get that issue, by the way. I am already like running a lot of things on different port. So 8000 especially. So that's the reason I got an issue and I fixed it. So this is the meaning of this port number, by the way. Okay, so this is this. Now let me share this fresh file once again with all of you. So Control A, I will not be selecting this model file, otherwise file size will be very big. Compress to zip. Final, oh, final model fine tuning with Docker image. Okay. Fine. So let me share. Okay, guys. So I'm like going to upload this one in a previous lecture itself, where I have uploaded a previous file um, inside your dashboard. I've just changed the file name, means zip file name. Yeah. So if you will go to your like previous session, live lecture, 12th October session, which was the previous one. So you will be able to see this file which I have uploaded just now. And this is the file which I have uploaded last week, means last week when I was like taking your very first class. So this is the updated file. So over here, only model is not available. You have to create a model. Model size itself is like a 30 GB. So can't like transfer it. So even zip will take like 2-3 hours of time. Okay. So now, if something is available as a Docker, right, inside my system, so now I'm like a good, and now I will be able to host it anywhere. Now, when we talk about a hosting, right, when we talk about a hosting, so again, a couple of things comes into a picture. So we are trying to host it, but how things will go on technically a scale, what kind of a traffic it will be able to handle, how many number of machines we are supposed to spawn, or we are supposed to basically spin over there, what should be the bare minimum number of machines, then basically uh, what kind of a inferencing time it is supposed to take, or maybe you can say a latency it should like give it to me. So all to manage all of these things, what do we do? So we try to go one step ahead, and instead of taking all of these headache by ourselves, so we can try to basically deploy this entire solution into a Kubernetes cluster with a GPU, obviously, right? So if you'll go to this HyperStack cloud or any other cloud platform, even inside AWS or Azure or GCP, you will be able to find out that they have already given you a managed Kubernetes services, right? Where you don't have to do much. You just have to go and set a bare minimum number of the machine, a default machine, that okay, I just want maybe one worker node and one like a master node. This is the configuration, right? And then when traffic will come, so let's suppose if 1,000 people are trying to hit my machine or 10,000 people are trying to hit my machine, then try to add this many number of a machine. So maximum machine or pool size, basically technically it's called as pool size, right? So we try to define a pool size, that okay, let's suppose like thousands of people are trying to hit on a single second at the concurrent, like a user are trying to hit my model, hit my services. So in that case, you can go till this much of a maximum pool, and if it is going to exceed that, your server is going to crash. Your server will say that okay, fine, I'm not able to give a response because my limit is over. Now all of these things in a easiest possible way, right? In a easiest possible way, we will be able to manage with the help of Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is one of the, you will say, ideal solution in this entire world. You will be able to find out. So where most of the solution we try to deploy as a Kubernetes services, even the Euron website that you are able to see. So it doesn't matter whether like 1,000 people are trying to hit or maybe 10,000 people are trying to hit, it will be able to take a load because we have configured it till a certain load, that okay, this is the maximum load which I will be able to handle. And if it will go beyond that, it will crash for sure, because we have created our pool size, and obviously if like a load is going to exceed that pool size, no one will be able to save your server, right? And we must have seen that even big server crashes because of only that reason, because I can't like give a pool size equal to infinite, it will cost me, right? I have to create a reserve pool. So here, right, so here we have a Kubernetes approach. We'll not do this as of now, right? We'll try to do this Kubernetes things in our Uri. So because similar kind of approach we have to follow. So we have to basically like host it on a Kubernetes services. We have to see that whether my server is scaling itself or not, and then a beautiful UI interface, obviously, because API is fine. As a API, I will be able to expose. On the other end, I need a beautiful UI interface as well, so that I will be able to build a URI. So that is something. So here I have just mentioned just to give you a heads up, because in couple of weeks, I believe in 3-4 weeks, right, we'll start the project. We are very near to our like final projects, as our syllabus. As soon as syllabus will be over, so we'll get into that section, right? So there Kubernetes services, we are going to use it. Maybe you can try to like start exploring, but it is not at all difficult. It's very easy. For example, if I'll talk about AWS, so they are giving you EKS services, right? So managed Kubernetes services, they are already giving you, and like you don't have to do anything, just go spin the machine and serve it, as simple as that. So we'll be doing that. This will be the final this will be the final thing that we'll be doing now here. So I have created some performance benchmark as well, right? That what and all like what kind of a training time it is going to take, and what will be the memory uses. So you can look into this particular table as well. This is going to be very useful, because last time some of you have asked me a question that if I'm trying to do this kind of a training, then what will be the time it should take, what should be the memory consumption. Keeping that in mind, I have updated this readme file, and where I have mentioned that if model is basically this full fine tuning, if you're trying to do, right? So in that case, 45 to 60 minutes it is going to take, again epoch wise, right? So if I'm going to change the epoch, it is going to change, and again the data that I have taken. Memory consumption is going to be 12 to 16 GB of a virtual RAM, and model size will be around 2.2 GB or something or so. LoRa wise, 20 to 30 minutes, right? And which is like uh, one of the like a model where we are not changing the entire weights. 6 to 8 GB of RAM, and then this is the model size. Preferred wise, it is going to take this much of time, and then this is going to be the tentative memory consumption. Quantized LoRa wise, so it is going to take 15 to 20 minutes, and model size is going to be 25 MB, one of the smallest one. DPO, so direct preference optimization wise, so it is going to take like 30 to 40 minutes of time. So full fine tuning is the only one which is going to take most amount of the time after DPO, by the way. So this is the tentative, like a training time it is going to take, and the memory consumption, and finally you will be able to see a model, final model size, right, in general. Now, inference performance wise, so here basically if I'll talk about HR full fine tuning model, so load time is going to be 5 second to 10 second, and first query is 2 to 3 second. Again, this is a benchmarking which has been created with respect to my system, right? So whatever my system was like taking time. And again, if I'll talk about my system configuration, so I believe this is my system configuration. So where I have a CPU, so where I have, you can see like a 16 core CPU. I have 32 core logical over here. And if I'll talk about a memory, so RAM wise, I have a 96 GB of a RAM. So this is a benchmarking with respect to my system where I have trained it. In your system, it's not going to be same. So whenever someone say this benchmarking with respect to what configuration, my configuration, 96 GB of RAM, like and again RTX 4090 GPUs and 4 TB or 6 TB of hard disk. So that's a config i9 processor. So with that kind of a configuration, this is the benchmarking. So in my system, it takes around 5 to 10 seconds of time. First query like takes 2 to 3 seconds of time, because we know that we are doing a catching of the model. So when I'm going to fire a second query, it will not take same amount of time because it has already cached it in my client side, right? Token per second which it will be able to yield is 100 to 150 token. Again, so LoRa model, which is like a healthcare model I have created. So load time 3 to 5 second, first query this much, and then subsequent query is going to take this much. Sales, marketing, finance. So for all of these things, I have created a benchmark, but again with respect to my system, as simple as that. Yeah, with respect to my system. Now, so yeah, rest is just a story, by the way. So you can maybe like read it through this one. Use cases, integration examples, so chatbot where you can try to integrate it. And I believe we all know if something is available as an API, I can integrate it anywhere. Mobile apps, website, any kind of an integration, you all will be able to do it. Yeah, one more amazing thing. I don't know whether you have like tested that or not. So have you tested Yuri AI in WhatsApp? Yeah. So recently what we have done, again, so just an extension of our services. So here you will be able to see that if you will go and ping to this number, the way you try to ping to your friends, I think I have released couple of like a real video for that. I don't know whether you have like, experienced that or not, but yeah, if you have not experienced it, you can experience it now maybe. So this is the mobile number, right, where you can try to ping basically, and even you can go from here. So on our like Euron website, so we have done this integration. So here, right, Yuri WhatsApp assistance we have added. This mobile number is different from this number. So we have dedicated one number, mobile number for this. And what it does, so just AI is available, Yuri AI is available in your WhatsApp, and you can ask any kind of a question in any of your languages. Plus, you can try to even upload a image. You can try to even give a voice command over here. Not just that. So that is basically something that it gives from a general model, right? Plus, we have even changed its tone a little bit. So the way you will behave, so the model, the system will start behaving in that way. So we have created a specific agent for that. And apart from this, we have also exposed the Euron system, means basically a course and LMS system that we have. So we have created an agent. So let's suppose here, if I'm going to ask a question that tell me the latest launch from Euron, right? So it is not just going to like like pull the, as you can see, it has started typing. It's very very fast, right? So it has started like generating a response, and it is not just giving me a output. So here, Gen AI certification bootcamp 2.0, right? This is the launch. So it is giving me all the detail. So it is able to understand everything technically, and whether it's a part of Euron or maybe outside Euron, even real time search. So if I'm going to ask that, tell me about a AI latest news from India, right? So if I'm going to ask a question, so it will go and do a Google search. It will be able to understand if I'm asking something from Euron, so it is understanding even that, and even from Euron, even I can ask about lecture, right? So latest news, and today is what, 25th October? Yeah. So as you can see, 25th October, and these are the major news, and these are the like sources of that particular news. So it is like giving me even that kind of a responses. If I'm going to ask a question that, give me for loop, for loop Python lecture, something like this, if I'm going to ask, so it will go to our LMS system, it will try to search, and then yeah, so it is giving me a lecture, basically a particular lecture itself. So basically, why I'm building this, the reason is very simple. So obviously in next 1 year or so, we'll be having so many lectures, right? We are like working, we are creating on like we are creating so many like lectures on every segment in Hindi, English, and maybe going forward other languages as well. So as our library will grow, it will be very difficult, and again for like same thing, we'll be having multiple courses as well, right? So here anyone can come and anyone can ask that, okay, I'm looking for lecture in this, in that, and if that lecture is available, it will bring a direct lecture link, right? And obviously if you are going to click on this lecture link, if you have a plus access, then only you will be able to, otherwise it will throw you to the payment page, right? So anyone can come over here, talk to this system, and then they will be able to search the entire library instead of going through like a courses and searching through our courses. So we have given this complete agentic capabilities just inside our WhatsApp. It works very good with images. I have uploaded this kind of images, and then I've said that, okay, so enhance my pictures and make it like a colorful. It was able to do it. Everything. So almost like all kind of a general purpose agent and a specific agent we have added inside this one, and yeah, running on WhatsApp. Simple. So no one has to like come to Bev and then like ask a question. So everything can be asked here itself. So you can try this out. Those who have not tried, maybe just ping and then start chatting with it, right? Even we have given a capability that if I would like to give a feedback, so I want to give a feedback about Gen AI lecture. It's okay. Yeah. So something like this. So it will be able to understand that you are trying to give a feedback basically. So here what it does, automatically it logs your feedback in our databases. We can see your feedbacks, by the way. We can see your feedbacks, we can see your complaints, we can see a new users, everything we can like bifurcate from here. Can you update my resume with the prompt and JD? No, we have not added the resume capability so far. Maybe in future we'll do it, but yeah, for not with N8N, no, not at all. See, N8N is good. It's lucrative. It's tempting. But for building this kind of application where we need a latency in seconds, right, or maybe not in second even, a microsecond, millisecond, N8N will not work. Basically, it will create a bottleneck. So it's not a N8N, by the way. It's a custom agent basically we have created. And yeah, so backend code is written in a node, by the way. Some piece of the code is written in Python as well for an agent basically, which has been called here, right? And we have hosted all of these agent on our server. So this was the actual approach. Init is good in terms of doing orchestration, in terms of doing automation. But yeah, so wherever latency is a concern, then I never advise anyone to go ahead with any tool available in this entire world. I always advise people to go ahead with the custom coding, because that is the only way which will give you a flexibility. No other way means literally no other way. How it is built, which model for NLP? I mean, like model wise, it is calling OpenAI model itself. Model wise, if I'll say, I'm calling agent, by the way. So agent means basically a piece of the functions we are trying to call in a backend, and then that is trying to like understand and decide that whether I should do a Google search, whether I should choose for this particular tone, polite or maybe aggressive tone. And model is trying to decide that whether I should go and search Euron database for something. Model is so my agents are deciding basically whether it's a feedback query or something which I can go and log somewhere in a backend. So yeah, it's a custom agent that we have written. Same kind of a agent that we have seen in our classes, right? Same agent we have created. Even it is showing a source of news as well. Yeah, obviously it will show a source of news. We have configured in that way so that you will be able to check the authenticity of the news, right? Otherwise, AI automation using a smart brain. Yeah, how can I build a voice agent with the same logic? See, voice agent is nothing but it's a text to speech and a speech to text. So it's basically TTS and SST. So STS. Sorry, is speech to text. STT. Yeah. So basically, like you try to convert your speech into like a text, and then you try to pass your text after doing a tokenization. Model will give you a response, and then you convert those responses into a speech again. This is what it does. So are you connected WhatsApp with your? That's the reason you are able to access it. Yes, obviously. So we have configured a complete like a WhatsApp. That's the reason. So all of you can ping on this number, the number which I have pinged you, right? So anyone can ping to this number, and anyone can start doing a chat with this like a WhatsApp. And I believe this is something that you guys can try creating, because this is a need for any organization. See, it is able to create even a beautiful pictures. I have tested a lot, and even you can see I had a lot of like conversation in Hindi language, right? And it was able to understand, and the tone is amazing. Yeah, tone is amazing. So maybe you can try creating, because as we all know that how agent works, right? We can try to like create an agent. So you can take inspiration from Yuri WhatsApp AI, right? So we have Yuri API, we have a Yuri WhatsApp AI, we have a Yuri AI for a web interface. So maybe you can start creating it. And this is something which every organization needs, everyone, right? Everyone. So where system should give a response. This is one of the system which everyone can mention in their resume. The another one is this fine tuning which I am talking about. Yeah, so even this is something that you can mention inside your resume. Many people have already mentioned it. And yeah, so you can go and you can explain inside your like interview. So this is something which directly you can write into your resume. You have increases the interview limits as well. Yeah. So basically, see, if you are going to mention this kind of a project, right? So no one will cross question, because every organization is doing this, right? Even Yuri kind of a WhatsApp system, every organization needs it. Whether they have it or not, it's a different case, because most of them is not having that kind of a system, right? Otherwise, every organization would love basically to expose their world to the outer world, right? But the only bottleneck is they're not able to create it, right? They're not able to create it. So if you're going to mention something like this into your resume, believe me, they will hire you without asking much of question. This will happen. How your code is deciding where we get the information from, the model, Google or social site, or okay, are you going to learn that code as well? No, no, no. See, it's an agent, right? Your entire generative AI session was based on what? Agent, right? Even in it, and what we have done, created agent. LangChain, what we have done, created agent. Everywhere we have created agents itself, right? Even in AutoGen, last class, I believe, on Saturday class, right? So we have done what? Created agent. Now what is agent? A smart brain, right? Which can decide. So technically agent is something which can understand my language, NLP. We are calling agents over there. And agent is having access of all the tool. It is having access of Euron database. It is having access of a Serper API, which can like go for the Google search and other APIs for a real-time search. It is having access of speech to text. It is having access of a image generation model, so that it can understand. So it can, so if you upload an image inside that, it will generate the image, part number one. It can enhance the image, part number two, and it can even understand the image. Means if you are going to ask a question that what is there inside that images, right? It will try to even explain you the image. So even in image part, we have three funnels. If you will check this WhatsApp Yuri AI, So we have three funnels just for our images. So we are calling technically three different agents, or you can say a tool calling we are trying to do just for the image part. So agent is trying to understand that which tool I should call, like enhancement tool I should call, or maybe I should call basically like a generation tool, or whether I should call basically a understanding tool, image understanding tool. And that tool is nothing but a function. This is what we understood in our through last like a 2-3 month of the classes. Yeah. So it's a pure agentic system we have created. Can you give a bit idea about how you did this this documentation you're talking about? Yeah. Okay, so basically, first of all, your project should be ready. Once your project is ready, then try to collect all the information that I'm doing this with respect to this. So I have created the rough sketch of this, and then I have given to a URI. It has created the entire MD file for me. Basically, I've done a little bit of vibe coding as well over here. But yes, input is mine because based on my input, it should do whatever you are able to see, right? So complete input I have to give. How it can pick a slang? Is it like how it can pick a slang? Means I'm not able to understand your question. If you can like, उसी के तो पैसे हैं secret रहने दो sir. I mean like ठीक है. If we can create it, everyone can create it. Very simple, right? In a tech world, nothing is hidden. So if we can do it, and I think everyone should do it, and we are here for learning, right? So obviously we should hide as less as possible if we have built something. So that everyone can learn. Tomorrow we'll create a new things, right? This is not the end of the world, right? Tomorrow we'll create new project, new things. Very simple. We'll discuss something new. But yeah, try creating this, right? Try creating this. Maybe after this Yuri project, right? After this Yuri project, if you guys will be interested, so I'll just try to invite one of my developer into your class. Not now, after your Yuri AI project, and then I'll just ask him to, not him even personally. I will do it. I can do it to give you a walkthrough of this kind of a system, right? That what is the agent which is running, because majority of code we have written in a node, and we have not used any automation tool. It's a proper pure custom code. The reason was very simple. I love init right, but I don't love it in a production. Very simple. In production, I know it is not going to give me the kind of a latency which I'm looking for this real-time system. Yeah, for batch system, init is very good. So you can automate your task once in a while. You can run it once in a day. You can run it. Those kind of tools. But I don't rely on tools for real-time things like this one. In hyperstack we just run data. Yeah, just in hyperstack just run this entire things. Notorious language in WhatsApp agent, how the slang is picked up. Slang we don't have to do much, because nowadays the model that we have, right, for example a GPT model itself, it's like a pretty much like a mature. So anyhow whatever input that you are giving, we are sending it to LLMs, right? So if I'll send it to chat GPT, by default it will be able to discard all those slangs, plus yeah, tone. So for toning basically we have done like a little bit of engineering over there, so that if you are going to talk to this particular one in your language, maybe in a fun way, so it will behave in a fun way. So we have done a little bit of prompting over there, to be honest, with everyone, and yeah. So basically, it is able to adopt your tone. It's kind of an instruction we have given. You can say a kind of instruction, because LLM can understand everything, right? Okay, so fine guys, what is the next step? So next step is just run, build a model, test it, right? Test it into a Docker, because this is not the end of this chapter. So till this chapter, we are able to build and do everything till Docker. Almost similar kind of a things you will be able to see again when I will be talking about a URI API and when I will be talking about a hosting inside a cloud platform, which is a part of your syllabus. So as we'll progress, we'll try to like, do that. We'll do a cloud deployment. But in between, at least test it. If you're not able to run it, if you're not able to train it in your local system, not an issue. Run it inside a hyper stack. That's the reason I taught you hyper stack. Very simple, right? I taught you like how to access a GPU so that you will be able to, train any kind of a model. And we all are aware about it. So just train it for 1 hour, test it, and then, shut down your machine so that it is not going to cost you like a more than $1.5 on hyperstack or somewhere else. Yeah. I think it's worth spending $1-2 to see a training, because that is something which you are going to write into your resume, right? And then we'll try to attach these APIs with our UI interface. Brief 1st November new batch. Yeah, so new batch we are going to start 1st November batch. I think next week weekend we are going to do the inauguration of that batch. So those who will be interested, they can join. If you have some friends and family, they would like to learn this entire generative AI things, they can like join. And obviously, like syllabus is same, but it's a live class. So I mean, like most of the time in my history, so I barely repeat a project or examples. So I keep on giving a new example. So if you have a time, maybe spend those like a Saturday, Sunday with me. Simple. Yeah, sometimes you just have to spend time. That's it. So if you are free, you can just come to class. Will this course be ended up? No, this course is going in its own like this one, right? Timeline. So timing is different for both the batches. So this will go in its own timeline. That will go in its own timeline. Is it a last class? Why do you think in that way? We have not completed the syllabus, right? Timing is not same. So that batch timing is 4 o'clock, and this is like morning 9 o'clock. So timing is completely different. There is no overlap at all. So asking for example a system, if we need to get some information from a user for a request, how to handle that example, create some request in a ticket system through a chatbot. I need to get some input from a user chatbot must get a mandatory data to move forward. Okay. So here we are able to like register a feedback. See, I want to give a feedback. So system has responded, your feedback has been received and forwarded to our support team. Now, so whenever you will start chatting, we are not asking you for your number or anything, right? Because your number and everything will be available inside a session. So whether you are registered with a Euron, you are a paid user, you are a non-paid user, everything is available with us. Because in Euron system, so we are like basically asking you for your mobile number, right? And even here, that was the reason. So if you remember 6 months back, so we were giving you two options. One is a mail ID option, one was the mobile number option. But now, even though if you will log in through a mail ID, we are asking you for your mobile number, because we were building this kind of a system since then. The idea was very simple, that here let's not ask like a more of detail again and again, right? Let's make it clear and simple. So you will start with your number, and so system will be able to check automatically that whether you are registered, when you have registered, from which country, which location you have registered. Basically, if you are going to like uh, give a location to your like WhatsApp, so we'll try to like pull all of those information, and automatically system will be able to understand that, okay. And again, so here, so when you say feedback, right, it will log the feedback. And when it is logging a feedback, we know like which courses you have accessed, basically everything like whatever interaction that you have done with system, we can see it, and then we can respond back to you that, okay, fine, this was your query. So let's try to resolve it, or any other issues if you're facing. So yeah, this is how like we have done. If you would like to pop up some sort of a forms, in that case, what you can do, so we are sending this response, right? Instead of sending this response, pop up a form kind of a structure. Say that, okay, fine, select this, or maybe fill this. So as a form, user will fill the data. It will again go back, and then like you will be able to capture it if you have to do it, right? In our cases, it's not required, and I think it's in most of the cases it's not required. We don't have to take much of detail because if user is interacting with me, I have already all those details. Even we observe in Python teaching also the way teaching is different here, sir, for every. Exactly, yeah. So every class is not good. It's a live class, right? That's a beauty of live classes, by the way. And maybe just by spending time in a live class, you will be able to learn a lot. Even if you're not doing something, but still, you are learning a lot. Are you using guardrail? Because I'm scolding in WhatsApp and asked to scold me back, still responding in a very polite way. Yeah, so guardrail instruction we have also given. So you can go and scold more, and then let me know. Any fraud detection project? Fraud is I think fraud detection project is already available. You can go and check inside a project section. So it's there, I believe. And we can ask you directly. Yeah, exactly. That's a beauty, right? Of live classes. Yeah. Working on recording as well, but yeah. So because some people loves recording. Fine. So this is it, guys. This is it from my side, by the way. Just try it, test it, and then let me know. Now, what we are going to discuss tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm going to talk about a MCP, by the way, Model Context Protocol. So one of the, you can say, kind of a rule, right? It's a protocol. Protocol means rule by which you will be able to give an access of any system to your LLMs. For example, I can give an access of my Gmail system, my calendar, or maybe my database access. I can try to give to LLMs, so that depends upon the request, depends upon the query, depends upon the input. So it will be able to go and select all those like tools automatically or servers automatically. So my Gmail server might like a calendar server, or maybe it will be able to access my entire databases, and then it will be able to respond. So that is something that we are going to discuss. Believe me, it's not going to be different or very different, or you are not going to find it difficult at all. You will find it like a very, very easy, right? You will find it like we are just using one decorator, mcp.tool, and then like our functions are getting converted into MCP. That is something that you like. It will be more like a fast API. Yeah. So in case of fast API, what we have done, I think we all are well versed with fast API, right, guys? Yeah. I think we all have a very good understanding about APIs, right? Because this is API was the very first like a point where we have started class, and till now we have used a lot, right? So here API, so at this root this function is available. This is the meaning of API. Yeah. Similar kind of approach you will be able to find out even inside MCPs. So MCP at the rate tool, and then like something will be exposed to the LLMs. How it is different from an agent? Let's discuss that. That question is going to be a little bit interesting. So how it is different from the agent? Okay, just to tell you like a difference now. So technically, in case of MCPs, you give a tool access, means function access directly, right? And then LLMs decide that okay, fine. So which tool it is supposed to like call, right? In case of agent, the starting entry point itself is like going to be your prompt or whatever system configuration that you have given for an agent, and then that prompt. So more or less you will be able to see a similar kind of a flow, but it is different. I would say it is different in a way that in case of MCPs I'm exposing functions, tools. Even in agent we were using tools, right? So agent is a one single unit where it can hold a multiple tools, and then it can hold a memory, then it can hold a LLMs, right? And all together it is called as agent to make a decision automatically. In case of tools, it's a individual function access we try to attach. That's a difference. So technically it's very different. When is keyword searching getting launched? We are working on that. So we are even like working on a couple of like a project where we are trying to parse the entire lectures. We have so many lectures, so many live lectures, so many like a recorded lecture in Hindi and English. So we are even working on a project so where we are trying to extract all the basically like a conversation which has happened in that lecture, and then whenever someone is going to like do a prompt, so system will be able to identify that at which what time stamp this topic was taught, and you will be able to get basically like even seconds and minutes, that okay, at this minute, this second, this topic was covered in this lecture. So we are even working on that. That will take some time because it's a very like a intensive system intensive process that we are like dealing with. So we are just like figuring out some optimized approach for that one. In which lecture hyperstack is covered also, as Yuri? It said not available. So hyperstack is covered in your live lectures, right? But yeah, so see, it can understand only as of now the capability that we have built. So basically, it can understand only the main headings and the lectures point. It can't go into the lecture. We are working on those features as well. So I wish to learn ML Flow. ML Flow, I think lecture is already available from BAPI. Yeah, full course is available for ML Flow, I believe. Okay, so fine, guys. This is it from my side. Tomorrow, like I said, agenda is clear. I'm going to teach you like a MCP. So, what is MCP? How we can create it in a practical manner. And like I said, you will love it. You will enjoy it. Today's code I have already uploaded inside your previous lectures. So, just try to build a model, test it, leave it for now. Because again, we are going to open up this particular chapter. So with that, that's it, guys, from my side. Now, if you have any kind of a question, so please raise your hand. We can unmute each other, and then we can talk. Yeah, Mohit, go ahead. Sumit, go ahead with a question. If anyone of you have a question, please raise your hand, guys. Yeah, yeah, please go ahead. Anyone,
Hi, sir.
Rakesh, yeah, yeah,
Y-
please go ahead.
Yes, sir. First of all, happy Diwali. And
Yeah, yeah. Happy belated Diwali. Now Chhat is coming, so this week.
yes. This is Chat is coming, and from Monday, I think. It's
Yeah, yeah.
a- so, sir, I just wanted to one questions. Actually, I am puzzled in the something that one time you asked that the N10 is not for the productionized point of view. It's a tool.
No, no, no. That's not a final statement. So I said that if you are looking for a real time
Mhm.
processing, for example, if I'm building a chat system which should give me a response immediately, right? In that case, I'll not recommend any framework, any pre-built framework, any kind of a framework. But let's suppose if I'm trying to do a automation, mail automation, let's suppose, right? So where it should go and it should, every hour it should go to my mail, search, access all the mails, and then prepare a response, respond back to user.
Right.
In that case, any kind of a tool is good because time is not going to be the constraint. I'm not looking for a response in a fraction of second, right?
Mm.
So
Correct.
over there, yes, those orchestration tools are very good, right? Because it's, see, why I'm telling you very good. The reason is very simple. It's easy to implement, right? Easy to
Correct.
implement, easy to automate, and obviously it's a day-to-day task. It's a redundant task, right? So every day you have to go and check your mail, maybe check your calendar, maybe check minutes of meetings over there, right? Maybe check a lead funnel, or maybe check your finances, or maybe check a reporting. Now, in that, so over there, time is not a constraint. Time is not a constraint means even if it is going to give me a response 5 minutes later, I can like bear with it, right? But the Yuri WhatsApp system that we have created, if system will not give you a response within 10 seconds or maybe less than that, you will feel frustrated,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So in this kind of a system, obviously I'm using agent, and even in batch kind of a system, I will be using agent. But here I can't use this orchestration framework because latency wise, I can't control much. In my code, I can control, right? It's completely under my control. I can optimize it till any extent I want. But in case of N10, I won't be having much of flexibility. So that is the reason I said that in real time, wherever time is a constraint, latency is a constraint, no, but yeah, wherever I just have to go with the automation, so day-to-day task automation and all those things, it's very, very good, by the
Right.
way.
Understood, sir. Because I'm just bifurcating all these things according to my organizations that
Mhm.
like a GM level a person is wanted to some automate his task day to day
Hmm.
per
Hmm.
day task. So
Hmm.
according to that, we can use the N10. But
Yes.
like Yuri point of view that you have just explained us.
Hmm.
So in that case, how we can handle, because in that case we can't use the N10, right? So
Hmm.
from where we are using the multiple models, and apart from that we are using the social sites and Google sites as well, and according
Multi-agent,
to
yeah.
that
Hmm.
we want to provide the
Hmm.
information to
Hmm.
users.
Hmm.
So how we can handle that situation?
So basically, this is the reason we talked about a framework. For example, Lang graph we have talked about, Lang chain we have talked about, AutoGen we have talked about, Crew AI we have talked about, right? Now, these are the frameworks so which is going to help me out in terms of building an agent, coding wise. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the reason. So we have gone through all of those classes, right? So
Okay.
why we have gone through those classes? Why we talked about a lang chain? Why we talked about a lang graph? Why we talked about a crew AI? Why we talked about a autogen? We have done a lot of coding, right? We have done a lot of coding over there,
Okay,
and
you mean that the you we can use the agent with the help of coding, right?
coding, yes, yeah, this is what I
Okay.
said, right? Because over
Understood.
there, I will be having flexibility of doing optimization. That is the only flexibility which I need, right? I will be having control over each and every piece of the code, right? And then I will be able to understand, I will be able to debug, I will be able to optimize it, I will be
Correct,
able to
correct.
check that which function is taking more time. I can just focus on that piece of the function. I can try to optimize it, right? Or maybe I can try to host it somewhere where like our instances is very very high, right?
Mm.
So that is the reason we talked about those coding framework, and this is the reason I'm telling you that wherever you have a latency issue, go with the coding framework. Never go with like a pre-built orchestration. And it is orchestration framework, drag and drop, build it. So it's not good for a low latency system.
Understood, sir. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, yeah. Does Naresh is asking me question? Does latency comes from a model response or third-party APIs call? How framework is responsible for a latency? See, but it depends upon multiple things, not just I would say like a model. Yeah, model is one of the part. For example, let's suppose I'm not using my self-hosted model. I'm using model from OpenAI, right? So again, if I'm like filing a queries, that depends upon OpenAI response. So if OpenAI is claiming that okay, fine, for this much token, I'm going to take this much of time. So I have to wait for that. Part number one. Part number two. So basically, even before hitting that model, so let's suppose I'm trying to hit some other model, so which is trying to make a decision for me that what I should do, whether I should generate a response, I should go to the image model, I should go to the real-time search model, something like this. So again, one bottleneck you will be able to find out even at that particular places. Other bottleneck is going to be so wherever you are hosting your own server, right? Your own server. So let's suppose it is going to be good for maybe first 100 user, but let's suppose immediately 1,000 user will hit, so it is supposed to generate a response for everyone. Now if that server is not able to handle all of these traffic, all of these requests, so that will be your main blocking point, or you can say choking point for you, and you have to like basically handle it in a auto scale basically mode. So it comes, latency comes from everywhere. It starts with my system, which is like routing the query, routing the request. It even comes from the model. Again, model wise, two things: proprietary model or self-hosted model. So if I'm using self-hosted model. So again, I have to make my system I have to build my system in such a way that within my accepted latency, it should give me a response, right? And that accepted latency can depends upon the business. Otherwise, I can use and use the proprietary model. And how framework is responsible for the latency? Yeah. Now, so coming to the framework part. So let's suppose we are using LangChain, LangGraph, Llama indexes, Crew AI, or maybe AutoGen, right? Now these are the framework. These are what? These are basically orchestrator framework for an agent. These framework just help me out in terms of creating the agents. Simple, right? Now, so if I'm trying to build an agent, right? And let's suppose that the agent which is trying to call another tool, because at the end of the day, when I'm building an agent, right? So nothing is good, nothing is bad kind of a situation. So let's suppose if I'm trying to use maybe a LangChain and I'm trying to use a Crew AI, so it will end up calling a multiple different kind of a tool. Now, the way these frameworks are help or the way these frameworks are helping me out in terms of creating a tool, every tool will be having its own latency, or like whenever you are trying to create an agent, so it will be having its own latency. So yeah, but yeah, if I'll talk about the framework, so I believe all the frameworks is technically calling the LLMs, I would say. So mostly your frameworks are not going to give you much of pain, but yeah, maybe your models are going to give you. So I can try to use a crew, I can try to use maybe like a LangChain to create a agents. Almost both are going to give you a similar kind of a latency, but again we do a lot of like a testing even over there. So for example, if I have built some agent in LangChain and same agent if I have built on a crew AI, so the way it is trying to route or it is trying to like invoke the agent, that matters a lot, and how much optimized their code is. So for example, if I'm trying to use a LangChain, right, and maybe their code is not that great or optimized in terms of building an agent, it will end up giving me a lot of latencies, but still I will be having control. This is what I was trying to say. So most of the time when we try to develop this kind of a project, what we do, we try to modify a couple of their functions as well. You are anyhow doing pip install, right? Pip install, when you are doing it, simply means what? You are downloading their package, you are downloading their Python file, and most of the time you will find out that when we are creating a very optimized project, so we are looking into their libraries and we are trying to optimize their library itself, and this is the beauty of using a code. So yeah, this is the place where you can optimize, I believe. Hope I'm able to give you an answer. Yeah. Next question is like Asit, go ahead please. Sorry, remove
Yeah, so
permission. Yeah.
yeah, happy Diwali.
Ye- Happy Diwali, belated
Yeah,
Diwali.
so and it was a really very was good under discussions in the last right. So yeah, so my question is um Sudhanshu, when we host a model, right? So
Hmm.
what is the approach to how you choose this model to fine tune it, right? So what are the steps we need to look into before choosing a model for either training or fine tuning?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I discussed about this in my previous class, but let me reiterate the same thing. So see, how do we choose a particular model? So it depends upon a task that I have in my hand. For example, so let's suppose I have a task where I have to train with my simple document or data which is available to me, and model should give me a response, right? And that too in English or maybe in other languages. So I'll try to select that, okay, which model is trying to fulfill my bare minimum requirement. Bare minimum requirement means language plus the model pre-training which has been done on what kind of a data. So for example, if I'm trying to train a model for finance, right, I'll prefer to go and choose some model which is an open source model in a market which has been trained or which has seen a finance kind of a data, or which has seen a healthcare kind of a data, which has seen similar kind of a data. If that model is available, well and good, I'll go and pick and choose that model. Otherwise, I'll try to pick and choose. My second approach will be I'll go and try to choose a model which is having a very good understanding about a just a language, right? Maybe if I'm trying to build for English, so obviously English language, Arabic, so Arabic languages, Hindi, so Hindi languages, so that at least I understand the language, and then eventually I will be able to give my data, and it will be able to interpret my data set. That's a second criteria.
Hmm.
Third criteria, so let's suppose if I'm trying to train a model for my HR policies, max to max in any company, even if it is very very big company, right? How many HR documents will exist or how many HR policies will exist? 1,000, 2,000, right?
Okay, yeah.
And per document wise there will be like 5 pages, 10 pages max to max, right? Not more
Hmm.
than that. Even if
Yeah.
I'll talk about a world's biggest company, right, HR policy is going to be same for every employees and departments, right? And
Hmm.
obviously like 1,000, let's suppose 1,000 policies we have, right?
Hmm.
Now in that situation, if I'll go and select OSS 120 billion parameter model, now that is not going to be a wise choice. The reason
Yeah.
is I will end up burning money at the time of training, right? And forget about that, training is just a one time job. Inferencing, because that is something which will happen like frequently, right? So again, that is not an ideal approach. So I should always take a decision that okay, this model is having a bare minimum number of parameter, it understands all of my data. That's the reason, so I have used tiny model over here, right? And it's
Hmm.
not like that small, 1.1 billion parameter we are talking about, which is more than
Hmm.
enough, which is more than sufficient, right? And for kind of a data which I have taken. So language understanding of the model, pre-understanding of the model, size of the model basically matters a lot. What kind of a task that we have in our hand. So let's suppose if we are trying to build just a HR or finance kind of a model, not much is required. But let's suppose if I'm trying to build a model for a teaching purpose, right? Complete IIT JEE teaching or NEET teaching or maybe UPSC teaching or something like that, then in that case obviously I need a very very powerful model
Got it.
for, because teaching is a very very broad things in itself.
Mm.
So these are the initial criteria that we should like go ahead, and then we should check the trade off, and then we should like select the models. But yeah, language should always be the very first constraint which I have seen.
Okay, okay. And one more is here for the different domain, you
Hmm.
train the different model, or the in
No,
one model you put all the.
I have used the same model actually. So if you will
Okay,
go and check, basically, I think my screen is visible, right? Yeah.
you
So if
can.
you'll, it's visible, right?
Uh,
Yeah. So everywhere you will be able to see only this model.
Tiny llama. Okay.
Yeah. Tiny Llama I have used. Basically, it's a Facebook, one of the best model, one of the like a moderated kind of a model you can say, which is neither bad neither good, I would say. But yeah, it's a one of the good one to like a train. So I have used this model everywhere.
Yeah. So means you created a five model then, right? For
I have
five
created
domain.
technically 5 models. Similarly, I can create
Okay.
10 model, 20 model, like
Mm.
how whatever I want, I can create it.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very interesting and so very learning session
Yeah,
today.
and this is what we do in real time also. So even if you will
Yeah.
go and train, let's suppose today itself for your organization, right?
Mhm.
You can use Discord directly. You don't have to like do anything. If
Mhm.
you would like to change the model, change the model. I mean, like you just have to copy the ID of the model from Hugging Face, because every model is available in Hugging Face, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So what you have to do, let's suppose if you are planning to choose a different model, right?
Mhm.
So this is the model ID. This is the model ID which I have taken from Hugging Face, right?
Mhm.
You will just have to change this one. Let's suppose you would like to train with the GPT OSS, for example, um, Google Hugging Face. So let's suppose if I would like to, train with basically GPT OSS. So OSS, yeah, GPT OSS 20B or something. So don't have to do anything. Just copy this ID, model ID, right? It
Okay.
will download and it will start training it. So this is how simple it is. And then if you have to change the data, then just go here, change the data. I have already done the mapping for that. Yeah.
Mm. And one final question is that is we train the model with our data, right? But
Hmm. Hmm.
also if we build a model for a certain kind of task, for a
Hmm.
question answering, for summarization,
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
translations.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
then, what are the kind of data sets we use to train
As
a
per the
model for the such? Yeah.
as per the task you have to prepare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So simple, as per the task you'll have to prepare. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Parameter also will change, right? If I change the model. No, basically parameter is with respect to most of the especially if I'll talk about the training parameters. Training parameter is with respect to a kind of a training that we are doing. LoRa, Cora, prefet or full fine tuning. So that is not going to change. For example, epoch, batch size, learning rate, beta. These are basically like independent of the model parameter. Yeah. So this doesn't depends upon the model, because for any model is what network, right? So for any network, we have to set these things. Yeah, Dhruv, Sumit has raised his hand. Yeah, Sumit, go
Yeah.
ahead. Then Dhruv.
Uh, First of all, happy Diwali, belated, and happy
Thank
Chhath
you.
Puja
You
in
too.
advance, sir.
Yeah, you too.
So,
Take
sir,
care.
actually, I was trying to like building RAG and like both fine tuning from the last batch.
Hmm,
The
hmm,
issue which I'm facing that the retrieval IQA that is was deprecated it from 0.1.7. Now LangChain divided into three core part like LangChain, like community and core.
hmm,
So
hmm,
in that case, even I am checked in your coding as well in API of the LangChain. There is a
hmm.
code specific for LCAL compatibility, LCI,
Yeah,
AEL.
LCL, Langchain expression language. Yeah.
Yes. So even
Hmm.
I tried that one, but still I'm facing multiple issues because if I upgrade
I
to
think
the
it
latest
should
one,
work. I think some in some class I taught that recently, LCL, because this keeps on changing, right? So maybe
yeah.
whatever is working this month, maybe next month itself it will not work. There is a chance with the latest installation. So I have to go back to the previous. But yeah, just tell me what is the issue you are facing. Maybe I can look
Like,
into it.
like generally, if such kind of issue happens, so if we want to do any your like old classes, then still we
Then
have
then
to check
then
all the
then go with the
compatibility.
older installation. Simple. Just change the version,
Okay.
right? So whenever you are doing pip, just change the version. It will work as it is because doesn't matter what version they have released, but that previous version will be available.
Okay. Second thing, in the last batch of the fine tuning, most
Hmm.
of the dependency in the requirement txt are taking from your own system. So the problem I'm facing that whenever I'm like installing that one, it asking me for that particular file, which is not in my file. So and even I'm not getting the particular version which component has been installed. So if I can get it, then
In
only I can set up my
requirement.txt file for
yes,
fine
sir.
tuning.
Yes, only I think you have freeze the requirement.
I don't remember. I take so many classes, so I mean, just fine tuning wise, just use this one. So you are saying that here, so I have so in this
In
requirement.txt
this
version is
one,
also there.
like very less. If we could check the last lecture of
Hmm.
like last batch, generative AI with NLP.
Hmm. Okay, so maybe I have done pip freeze at that point of a time.
Yes,
So,
and most of the work only and like I have only
got
the
it, got it.
soft like
It
the
was it
name.
was it was
Uh,
unnecessary. Like when we do pip freeze, so basically whatever installation is done in my that current environment, it just copies it. Okay, maybe I have done pip freeze at that point of a time. If I remember, then remove it, and then like just like use this one for fine tuning. We have a new code base, right? So just
but in that one, sir, there are a lot of like requirement. Like these are only like 14. There are I think more than 20. Even I can't check the version. If it's
maybe
possible for you to open
yeah,
or like
maybe I have
I
done
have
pip freeze at that point of a time.
uh-huh.
That
I have
that could be
opened it in
the
the
that could be
system.
the
If
issue.
you should I copy that content and paste it over like, over
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Or you can share your screen if you want. You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Okay, so you can just share your screen. I think we can look into it. In between, so yeah, Dhruv, what is your question?
Yeah, so my question is regarding the storage deployment and training the model and all. So right
Hmm.
now even I'm using Mac M1, the
Hmm.
storage is somewhere around 8 to 16 GB. Even in
Hmm.
future,
Hmm.
if I upgrade, I can go maximum 16 to 24 GB,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And if
Hmm.
I'm having so big system, that will cost me more. So
Hmm.
right now, from learning, deploying, and at least making a huge money till for next 1.5 year,
Hmm.
uh, should I totally rely on cloud just to train and build
even
something for?
even after 1.5 years, see, you will
Yeah,
never be
yeah,
able to
yeah,
build a complete server on your own, right? No one
yeah,
does
yeah.
that because obviously it comes with the cost.
Right,
And again, industry runs on cloud, industry never runs on local.
right, right, right.
So obviously for like, see, for testing purpose, if something is working in my system, it will work. Yeah, got it, Sumit. It's a pip freeze. It's a pip freeze, just remove everything.
Like
uh,
in such situation, although I know the name of the dependency,
uh,
but I don't know the version which is working for this.
leave it. Just go ahead with the latest version. Anyhow, system will give you issue. So if the version, there will be a version compatibility issue.
There are 79 dependencies, sir. Like
Yeah,
it
I
is
got it. I have done pip freeze. So basically, this is coming from pip freeze.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Remove.
like I will move only with the name and install it,
Yeah.
and like whichever issues come, I have to
Yeah.
resolve it.
Yeah. Just do one thing. Copy the entire thing. Let me make your life a bit easier. Copy. Go to
Yes,
Uri AI.
Yuri, okay.
Yeah, paste it and say, yeah, paste everything and say that just give me a dependency file with the compatible version. So most of the issue will be fixed in that way. Yeah, so give me the like a dependency with the compatible version, and just give me like a library name and its a version, nothing else. So
Got
it
it.
will clean and give you the final file.
Got it. And sir, I will do it. And the
Mm.
next thing is that I'm planning to like fine tune and write my own for the telecom domain to showcase in the resume. The
Okay.
issue is, like I check the data. Data is in in Hugging Face. I have in a user machine learning and
Hmm.
Kaggle. But even that data is available or public. That means the same data can be used by by our model as well. So
Hmm.
do I
Hmm.
need to create my own data? Is
If
that the
you are
only
doing,
way?
if you are training a model which is which requires your proprietary data, means your company data or your personal data, in that case, yes.
Like there is no other way I can.
How model will be able to understand your finances,
i- i-
basically.
if I mix two or three source of data, like I took some
But
data from
still,
Hugging
still,
Face,
still,
from
still,
the
see, every
still.
company finance will be different. Every company's HR policy is going to be different, right?
Mm,
Yeah. So every
yes,
company marketing funnel is going to be different. Every company sales pitch is going to be different. Every company's sales product is going to be different, right? That's the reason.
yes,
So we talk about fine tuning, right?
yes.
Yeah. If like if you don't, your company don't have like a such kind of a differences, then you go and use generic model. Why to do even a fine tuning? Why to take that like kind of a headache?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have to. But actually, I want to do it from my own demo purpose, personal,
Then,
like
then,
personal.
then yeah. Then today and last week, the project that I have discussed, right?
Mm,
Simple. Use it, and even in organization, just use this one.
okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. So it's ready to like a use code for you, Sumit.
Yeah.
So thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
So,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
uh,
Just wait, Sumit. Oh, other Sumit. We have two Sumit. Just wait. I'll take a question. Yeah. Let me close a question from Dhruv. Yeah, Dhruv. So
The cloud part.
the yeah. So can you please repeat your question once again?
Yes, so the question, so let me give you an example also.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
initially when DeepSeek came, right, they
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
open sourced it.
Hmm.
So there
Hmm.
were multiple model based on the storage like 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB. So in my
Hmm.
local system, I was able to deploy and test it, the basic one, the
Hmm.
8 GB
Hmm.
one or
Hmm.
6 GB. But when I went in 16 GB and all, it crashed.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just out of curiosity I tested, but didn't go with full and all, and then I just lose it and all. So in future perspective also, like you have trained this part, the thing that we were seeing right now, to make such system which can answer anything in a behalf of my organization.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
training in a cloud, so there is two part. The first one is training and
Hmm.
making it workable, right?
Hmm.
And there
Hmm.
is second part when actually people will use. So when actually people,
Inferencing. Yeah.
yeah,
Inferencing.
inferencing. So
Hmm.
that's where, of course, I think every company will go with the AWS, Azure, or GCP.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
for the training purpose, like us, who is just learning, who is just
No, no, no.
building.
Even both the parts. See, training
Okay.
itself is a heavy task, right? And it
Yes.
depends
Yes.
upon my model, base model, basically.
Right. Right.
See, for
Right.
example, if I'm using a OSS 120 billion parameter base model,
Yeah.
right? Even in my system, I will not be able to run it.
Okay.
120 billion parameter, 120B
Yes.
parameter.
Right. Right.
20B is
Right.
fine. 20B somehow I will be able to run it. Even
Right.
Tiny Llama, which is basically 1.1 billion parameter model, it took
Mm-hmm.
around 50 to 60 minutes of time for me to train only or to fine tune only one, to do a full fine tuning.
In your system, which is very
Eh,
huge already,
Yeah,
like
obviously, like my
150.
system is, you can say, a
Right.
little bit better system, right? Better
Yes.
system
Yes.
as compared to the average system
I
that you will see in
understand.
a
Yes.
market.
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not saying that it's the best one. When people have like a big system than this one, but yeah. So benchmark wise, like a 16 core, like a 32 logical core, and then 4090 basically RTX NVIDIA GPU graphics card is available, and 96 GB of a RAM is available, but still it is taking like that much time. And 120B, not even 70, even I have tried 70 billion parameter model, right? It
Right.
crashes my system even. Forget
Okay.
about 120B. So obviously, the training instances that we are going to choose, that depends upon my model selection, that depends upon our data size, that depends upon the model training parameter. If my
Mm-hmm.
epoch is maybe, I have trained it for two or three epoch, let's suppose, or one epoch, right? But maybe in one epoch, it is not going to decrease my loss. At the end of the day, we are trying to decrease a loss, right?
Yeah.
Loss of the models with respect to my data set. Yeah, this is what we are
Mm.
doing in a backward propagation, right?
Right.
So if I'm training it maybe for a 300 epoch or 3000 epochs, so where I know
Mm.
like my model is going to give me the best performance. So if then I have to wait for 300 hours in that case in my system, even with the 1.1 billion parameter model,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even at the time of training, we need a high computation. How much computation, that depends on my model selection, my data set, and my training parameter.
Okay, got it.
And
Because
inferencing, so obviously at the time of inferencing, basically I have to choose the system based on the request, how many hits we are going to get, what is the final model size, what time, or what like a to generate 100 token, how much time my model takes for one request, basically, or token wise, let's go. So how
Hmm.
much like a time it is going to take, how many parallel concurrent requests we are expecting even in our peak time from the user, and then what kind of a latency I'm committing to my user. Someone will commit that, okay, I'll take 10 seconds, right? In that case, I don't need my heavy machines, but someone say that no, I will try to give you a response within 200 millisecond.
Yes.
You need a high compute even at time of inferencing. So basically these are the trade-off that we always consider when we try to set up this entire system.
Okay, got it. And here's my second question for the same. So, how this cloud system billing happens? Generally, do they charge only when we consume compute, or even when we have
No,
storage?
both the parties available. So one is a
Okay,
reserved. So basically, you try to take a pool of it, and then like it is going to charge. And again, it happens with all the clouds: GCP, Azure, and AWS. Depends upon what services we are going to spawn. And it is like even like you can do it on a serverless mode, as you go, right?
okay, pay
So
as you
both
go.
pay as you go models are available. Pay as you go is like again inside that there is a bifurcation. So if I'm taking a reserve instances, right?
Yeah,
Just so for example, so bare minimum, I'm saying that okay, so T2 like a large system I'm going to take, or M2 system I'm going to take, or something like that I'm going to take, right? So obviously
right,
there will be a fixed cost to it.
right, right,
My server, or let's suppose I'm saying that okay, my 5 server will be up and running all the time, and then in a
right.
pool there will be 50 server. So as per request, 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, it will keep on spawning. So it is going to charge me for a response, like for the reserve servers, plus it is going to give me a charge for my pool, right? A small charge, fraction of charge, plus when my pool will be utilized, then it will go with pay as you go, means fixed cost plus pay as you go.
Got it, got it.
Right. And then in AWS or GCP or Azure, so again, there is a long-term reservation you can do, and short-term reservation. Short-term means like I'm just using it every month, and long-term means for 3 year, 5 year, I have done the contract. So every big company will be having a contract. So over there, they give you 80% to 90% a discount. So instead of paying 100 rupees, you will end up paying just 10 rupees.
Okay,
And every
got
company have that kind of a tie-up. Every company almost will be having that kind of a tie-up, because we all like go for a long-term contract with AWS or because we don't change a cloud, right, every day. Not even a 10 year we change once, right? Once we have selected AWS, we'll just go with that, or Azure or GCP. So long-term contract. So this is how charging happens. I mean,
okay,
like
got it.
costing happens.
And whenever we are going to connect with cloud, just I wanted to know from your side, like you have trained on your local system, but you could have
Hmm.
trained on cloud also. You
Hmm.
do not have any issue in training in local, and also why you didn't chosen the cloud, because there you can do it more earlier way.
No, no,
I
no. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Okay, okay,
Just
okay.
just just wait for your couple. That's the reason I told you, right? So
This
when
is
your
this
cloud.
is from the, I think, learning perspective. We have to know every single ways, right?
Exactly. So basically, I will, because there is a cloud chapter. If you'll go after
Right.
MCP A2A,
Yes,
so there
yes,
is
yes.
something called as cloud chapter.
Right, right, right.
I have to teach you something over there, right?
Okay.
I'll teach you this.
Got it. Got, so you are suggesting me, so if I'm taking my roadmap at least for next 1 and 2 year, at least
Hmm.
to land up at a best project or something, right?
Hmm.
So you
Hmm.
are suggesting ki I must go with one cloud, because I think that is also a part of learning the cloud system
Yeah, and then
for
see,
AI
in
learner, right?
cloud, you don't have to like learn or explore all the services. For example, AWS gives you 270 plus services, right?
Okay.
Now you don't have to know about all the services. You should know about the basic of cloud. So generally, user management, right?
Okay.
IAMs and its user management, its principles, everything you have to know, which is a very, very easy part to understand in
Right.
terms of creating a users, assigning a users, allocating a resources, and then a specific that okay, to run the model, so what kind of instances I have to do, I have to use, or like to host some of these things, so how I can use a EKS, and then how I will be able to do a domain mapping and everything. So I believe by the end of like this entire lectures, we will be having that much of understanding till domain mapping, means
Till
on
domain
your
mapping.
domain you can publish any services, right? That so and that is just a one time game. So once you are going to learn it, doesn't matter whether you are like deploying or training or doing like a hundreds of applications or thousands, it's going to be same.
Right, and then later part is same everywhere. So whether we have trained on cloud or local, we can connect with any real-time domain, so we can give it to the
Yeah.
global.
It's just a
Then
one time learning things. You don't have to learn even twice, because once you know that this is how it works, every time it doesn't matter whether you are creating a web application or mobile application or maybe like AI/ML application, things are same.
Yeah, and I think this will be good also, because anyhow we have to know the AWS part and
That is the
Azure.
last phase basically, because after that we don't do anything with application. We just maintain it.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah,
That
thanks.
yeah. So that will see a lot. I think. Yeah. Okay. So now Sumit Sahu, please go ahead with your question. Yeah, Sumit,
Hi,
please go ahead.
hello, hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. Sir, actually, I have a fine-tuning task in my organization. I just need one suggestion, sir. Actually, I have a code, and I have to predict that code is vulnerable or not. And I have a CVID in the other feature. So, what sort of the model and what sort of the training strategy I should do?
Sorry, can
So,
you please repeat once again, Sumit? Can you please repeat
Uh,
once again?
yes, I have a code, sir, source
Mm-hmm.
code, and that has a label of whether that code is clean or that code is vulnerable. And
Mm-hmm.
I have another label that has a
Hmm.
CVID. CVID means the why that code is a vulnerable, and that has
Hmm.
the description and that has a ID basically.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
want to predict if basically if I have a input of a code, basically I have to predict both two of these, whether that code is clean or not, means vulnerable or not, and what sort of CVID it has. So what sort of fine tuning task I have to do, and that is my question.
Fine tuning. You are saying that you have a code that is one file, and then you have already a data annotation with respect to a vulnerability, right?
Yes, 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 I have.
Code model. See, what kind of a fine tuning means, like a similar, like the fine tuning that we have seen, we can go ahead with that. But which model I have to choose? Let me search something for you. So code model you have to train, right?
Yes, yes.
Any LLM is going to work, by the way, because every LLM nowadays understands a code. But I'm just searching, like, if there is some specific best model which is available just for coding. Yeah. So there is something called as code gen model. There is something called as DeepSeek coder model. Basically, as per the suggestion from GPT, I would say, for now. So maybe model wise, you can try to go ahead with that if you are just looking for like some specialized model with respect to a code, only for a code. So DeepSeek Coder, Code T5 plus Code Gen, or there is something called as Maggie Coder.
And sir, I have another question.
Hmm.
If I do fine tuning, can
Hmm.
I predict two levels? Means I can predict like a generated, means like a GPT is a generated model.
Hmm.
If I will give a code, it will definitely give me the whether that code is vulnerable or not, and why
Hmm.
that code is vulnerable. These
Hmm.
two levels I have, and GPT also can predict both those things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Both of these two. Can with the help of fine tuning, can I do this both the tasks? Means I can predict the whether the code is vulnerable or not, and also I can predict why it is vulnerable. Means basically the CVE part.
Okay, so let me tell you something basic over here, right? So you are trying to say that, okay, so my model will be able to give me a response with respect to a vulnerability, and
Yes.
it will be able to generate a new set of a code. Both
Uh,
it should do,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Technically, it's from a model side. If I'll say, both are basically a generation task.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Both are generation tasks, right?
Yes, 100% yes.
Obviously it will be able to do it, because see, doesn't matter, like, see, we as a human, so we are able to see that vulnerable or non-vulnerable is a classification task, right?
Yes,
This is
yes,
what we as a human being is able to think, and then the next code generation is basically a generation task for me. But if I'll think from a LLM perspective, I'm not just building classification model, right? LLM is not a classification model. LLM is
yes,
technically a generation model, so which try to take our context, and then based on that it generates something. So maybe it generates a classes, or it generates a new context, or maybe a
yes,
new kind of a code. So my answer is
yes.
yes, it will be able to do both, because in case of LLMs, even classification is your generation.
Okay. But sir, in this case, the whatever the fine tuning scripts you are shared,
Hmm.
it will work, or it will, I have to change the scripting part.
It will, okay. So the data which I have shared with you. So, okay. Now, Let me share my screen once again and let's talk about it. So whether this is going to work or not. So for example, I'm talking about this HR data set, right?
Yes.
So here, so this is the input or maybe system instruction, and this is the output which I'm expecting, right? So
Yes. Yes.
maybe if you are looking for a vulnerable, not vulnerable, mention it vulnerable, not vulnerable over here as a label, as a output, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
in other places, answer and question and answer.
Okay.
Then it will
Okay.
work.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
understood it.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Okay. Next is yes, whom I should call? Tabis, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Sudhanshu.
Yeah. Hi, go ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, recently I have given the interview.
Hmm.
So I explained the Nexus RAG project.
Hmm.
So in that project, the interviewer asked about like in our HR policy, we usually have the text and images kind of
Hmm.
thing as
Hmm.
as a
Hmm.
data.
Hmm.
So they asked me means how you're going to validate that images which you have in your data set you are extracted correctly or not. So this is the first question they ask me, is the
Okay.
validation, how
Hmm.
you are going to validate the images has been extracted or
Hmm.
not.
Hmm. Hmm.
And second question uh, about the RAG means how you validate your model output which are coming correctly, the output which are getting,
Okay.
how you are measuring that output, it
Hmm.
is correct or not. So this question means I would like the answer from you.
Okay. So the very first question that you have asked that okay. So let's suppose we have a text data or image data, and we are like doing it for a fine tuning, right?
It's for the RAG application means
Yeah.
if you
Okay. Okay. Fine. So we are trying to build a RAG application. We are trying to store. So fine tuning or RAG application, because both are different.
it's for RAG. Like I explained the RAG, like what are the HR policy and different policy which we have. We are creating the RAG application, and
Okay.
the text we are converting all those data into the embeddings. So next
Okay.
question he asked that you have the images in the data as well. So how you're
Hmm.
validating those images in the data set that data has been extracted correctly or not?
Validation of image data.
In the PDF file, which we have text and the images also, right?
Got
Some
it.
tables are there,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
else,
Yeah.
tabular content are there in the HR policy.
Hmm.
So how you're validating those images
I
and
got it, got it. So basically, see, the thing is that we can use at the end of the day if something is available in a PDF format. So PyTrace is a kind of a library which will help me out in terms of reading the entire PDF. Now inside a PDF I will be having images, I will be having a text, these two kind of entities which is like a probably possible, or maybe a table, third entity which could be possible. So wherever I'm able to identify a table, so I will be using some table library. Wherever I have a images, I will be using a best possible either LLM model for a image understanding if I'm building something now. Otherwise, if there is something like OCR related things which I have to do with respect to images, I can use that OCR, which will be able to give me some sort of understanding of my images. So these are the techniques we can use. But yeah, currently if I'm trying to build, so I'll try to use some vision based LLMs to give me a better understanding about images, because this is like
so
what we are trying to use.
so in that case, do we have to use separate model like in the PDF we have the text and the images as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah.
So do
Obviously,
we need
obviously.
to use different models?
Obviously, we have to use a different model. So, for example, even in PDF, so we might have a different languages which is available. So, for text parsing, I should use a model which will be able to understand a multiple languages. Part number one. For table, so obviously I have to use some libraries, because libraries are going to be like work fine for me in terms of parsing a data. Now, third part is images. So, if we have images, so we have to decide that okay, so we have to do a OCR, means just some character inside the images we have to extract, or we have some graphical understanding based images, means a image which is trying to explain something, right? Maybe my HR policy, maybe my finance, or maybe etiquette inside a company. So that image is representing that. So if we have that kind of images, in that case, best approach will be to use a model which is having a image understanding. So vision based model we can try to use over there, or vision based LLM we can try to use, which will be able to like help me out in terms of understanding the images, and eventually I will be able to convert that into embeddings.
Okay. So means
That's my answer.
how we are going to validate like the images which we have inside the PDF, it is
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
giving the correct output if we are going to ask anything
Okay,
from that
so
data set.
validation wise, so if I'll talk about the RAG validation, so we try to use a recall, we try to use a precision, we try to use maybe a context based precision, we try to use even a freshness. Freshness of the data. So these are the in general validation criteria we try to perform. So if I'll talk about a recall, so recall simply means that percentage of query where we are going to get at least one correct kind of an answer. That is something called as a recall. Precision. So basically, like it is going to measure the relevancy of the measured outcome that we are getting. Now will ask the next question that okay fine. So for precision validation or for recall validation, so what should be the approach? Approach is very simple. So whenever we try to build any RAG system, parallel to that, we try to create a test data, right? Before deploying any solution, so we try to prepare the test data, we try to write a test cases. Now inside the test data, so we try to write the expected outcome, and then we try to give a query to my RAG system. So whatever RAG system is going to give it to me, we try to do a comparison. This is where precision recall comes into picture. So precision recall is in generic approach for doing any kind of measurement in terms of like doing a with respect to RAG system, that how reliable my RAG system is. Apart from that, a freshness. We also try to measure in case of RAG freshness of the data, because if my data set is like a too old and if it is not able to cater my current query, then obviously my freshness score is going to be low. Same approach we try to follow. Prepare a test data. Now for test data, so we'll be having a input and output. Now try to give a input to your RAG system, and then just like do the comparison, that how much percentage for percentage of record it is able to give me the fresh news or maybe reports, and for how many it is not able to give it to me. So these are the measurement criteria that we have to use.
Yeah, okay. So I have
Recall,
given
precision,
us,
freshness.
yeah, I have given F1 score.
F1 score is also fine. See, precision, recall, F1 score, all of these things are related. If we all remember, everything is getting derived from my confusion matrices, right? So yeah, F1 score is also a good measuring criteria, I would say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah,
your.
yeah. But with RAG, so we even try to check a freshness score all the time.
Okay,
And
okay.
there is something called as again, which I remember, a context precision. So context precision is again one of the like a way by which we try to measure. But altogether, it's very simple: a test data versus the output. Even if I'll talk about a F1 score, which is
Oh,
nothing
okay.
but eventually a precision and recall itself. Yeah. So this is how we can try to measure. Any other question for me?
No, no. Thanks. Thanks.
Okay. So next, Satish, go ahead, please.
हेलो सर, गुड मॉर्निंग
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. Go ahead.
सर। अभी सारे जो यूज केस हमने डिस्कस किए,
हाँ.
ध्रुव के साथ, तोकेर के साथ,
हाँ.
सारे हमारे कंपनी में एप्लीकेबल है सर। तो राइट
ठीक है.
नाउ वी आर डेवलपिंग एन एआई चैटबॉट।
हाँ.
सो उसमें क्या है, डेटा हमारा पूरा एसक्यूएल सर्वर में है और
ठीक है.
पूरा स्ट्रक्चर डेटा है।
हाँ.
तो उसको हम मतलब उसके साथ एआई चैटबॉट
एसक्यूएल सर्वर में क्लटर्ड डेटा है पूरा.
स्ट्रक्चर्ड।
अच्छा, हाँ, पूरा स्ट्रक्चर डेटा है. ठीक है.
हाँ,
ओके.
तो उसके ऊपर एक चैटबॉट बनाना है जो
हम्म.
सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर दे। जो
हम्म.
डेटा है उसमें डिफरेंट डिफरेंट मॉड्यूल्स है। फॉर
हम्म.
सपोज एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ, एक आरएफआई का मॉड्यूल है, एक सबमिटल्स
हम्म.
का मॉड्यूल है,
हम्म.
उसके अलोंग डेटा है। तो
हम्म.
उसके ऊपर एक चैटबॉट बनाना है।
ठीक है.
तो तो राइट नाउ एक मतलब एज मेरा रोल क्या है, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट का।
हम्म.
और
हम्म.
मेरे अलोंग विथ दो एआई इंजीनियर्स है।
हम्म. हम्म. हम्म.
तो हमारे पास अभी एग्जिस्टिंग सिस्टम है आरटीएक्स 4090।
ठीक है.
तो
ठीक है.
मॉडल जो यूज कर रहे हैं हम, लामा 3.1 8B इंस्ट्रक्ट।
ओके. ओके.
तो राइट नाउ हमको जो प्रॉब्लम फेस हो रही है ना, वो मैं आपको बताऊँ। तो एक तो
हम्म.
पहला प्रॉब्लम है लेटेंसी का, बहुत
हम्म.
टाइम ले रहा है, 2-3 मिनट्स।
मतलब ट्रेनिंग में आप ट्रेनिंग का बात कर रहे हो या इन्फ्लुएंसिंग का? इन्फ्लुएंस
इन्फ्रेंस।
इन्फ्लुएंसिंग का. ओके, तो इन्फ्लुएंसिंग का
यस,
लेटेंसी जो आपका है वो 2-3 मिनट है. ठीक है.
यस।
हम्म.
एंड कॉन्करेंट क्वेरीज एक भी हैंडल नहीं हो रही है हमसे।
हम्म.
मल्टीपल मतलब दो भी यूजर साइमल्टेनियसली अगर हिट कर रहे हो तो पूरा क्रैश डाउन हो जा रहा है सिस्टम।
ठीक है, समझ
और
गए.
token limit.
ठीक है,
Yes, these are the major problems.
ओके। मतलब प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, इसको बोलेगे सिस्टम का, लाइक दिस अ सिस्टम बॉटलनेक दैट यू हैव। सो करना आपको कुछ नहीं है, H100 स्पिन कीजिए और उसके ऊपर वो चला दीजिए। दैट इज द फर्स्ट अप्रोच। सेकंड अप्रोच ये है कि जो आज कोड बेस शेयर किया हुआ है आपके साथ, जहां पर टाइनी मॉडल हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, जो कि कंपेरेटिवली छोटा मॉडल है, आप यूज कर रहे हो शायद 8 बिलियन मॉडल, राइट? 8B,
Yes,
8B इन 4090, ठीक है। आई एम यूजिंग 1.1B इन 4090, ठीक है। तो दूसरा अप्रोच जो है वो ये वाला है कि आप जो है मॉडल का साइज ही कम कर दो। तीसरा, ठीक है, तो पहला अप्रोच क्या है कि सीधे सीधे अगर नहीं चल रहा है लोकल में तो क्लाउड पे लेके जाइए। सेकंड कि नहीं, मेरे को लोकल में ही टेस्ट करना है, लोकल में ही चलाना है और मल्टीपल इन्फ्रेंसिंग भी करनी है मेरे को, ठीक है, एंड इट शुड गिव मी अ गुड रिजल्ट। सो आई
yes,
विल सिंपली सजेस्ट यू कि गो हेड विथ क्यू लॉरा फाइन ट्यूनिंग। तो ये वाला जो क्यू लॉरा है ना क्वांटाइज, क्योंकि इसमें हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी मेंशन किया हुआ है ना कि इसका तो इन्फ्रेंसिंग टाइम भी कम होगा, प्लस ये मॉडल का, सी इन्फ्रेंसिंग टाइम इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू द लाइक मॉडल साइज, राइट? अब इसका साइज ही आपका क्या होता है, सबसे कम होता है, यहाँ लिखा हुआ है ना, ठीक है।
hmm,
तो साइज ही इसका कम होगा, जब साइज कम होगा तो सबसे लाइट वेटेड ये होगा। मतलब आप 8B ही करो। लेट्स सपोज कि आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज माय मॉडल, आप सो इवन दो आई हैव सजेस्टेड, बट या लेट्स सपोज कि यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज द मॉडल, ठीक है। आप क्या कर रहे हो कि आप 8B ही इंस्ट्रक्ट मॉडल यूज कर रहे हो, डीप सीक का, ये जो भी मॉडल आप यूज कर रहे थे जिसमें आपको इशू आ रहा था, ठीक है। इंस्टेड ऑफ
yes,
गोइंग एट विद फुल फाइन ट्यूनिंग, जस्ट वी गो विद अ क्यू लॉरा, क्वांटाइज लॉरा, ठीक है। तो इसमें मॉडल अपने आप ही छोटा हो जाता है, जो आपका मेन मॉडल है, जो पेरेंट मॉडल है, पेरेंट मॉडल को ही छोटा कर देता है वो, ठीक है।
yes,
एंड देन इफ यू विल डू द इन्फ्रेंसिंग, आराम से आप कॉन्करेंट 10 भी करोगे तो चल जाएगा 4090 में, ठीक है।
okay,
हाँ, तीसरा और चेक कर लो आप, ठीक है ना, तीसरा और एक चेक कर लो कि आप बोल रहे हो कि 4090 है आपके में, ठीक है,
yes,
बट इज इट यूजिंग 4090 एट द टाइम ऑफ इन्फ्रेंसिंग, ठीक है। क्योंकि ये मेजर, अगर आप विंडोज यूज कर रहे हो ना, तो मेजर प्रॉब्लम हमेशा ये देखने को आपको मिलेगा कि आपके सिस्टम में जीपीयू है, स्टिल नॉट यूजिंग इट, ठीक है,
uh,
कंपेटिबिलिटी लाइब्रेरी डिपेंडेंसी के चलते। सो
sir,
इवन चेक
अगर
दैट।
सिंगल क्वेरी भी हिट करो ना, अगर यूजर कुछ
नहीं
भी
नहीं, ठीक है ना, वो
query करे,
सीपीयू सिंगल डबल से मतलब नहीं है, वो पीछे कंप्यूट क्या यूज कर रहा है ना, उससे ही बहुत ज्यादा, उससे सबसे ज्यादा फर्क पड़ता है। तो आपका बोलना है कि आपका 4090 राइट, आप सिंगल क्वेरी
yes,
मारोगे, वो सीपीयू तो बाय डिफॉल्ट ही यूज होता है ना। सीपीयू इज समथिंग जो हर प्रोसेसर आपका यूज, मतलब हर एक कोड, हर एक प्रोसेस जो चलते हैं आपके सिस्टम में, वो सब यूज होता है। तो अगर जीपीयू अवेलेबल नहीं मिलेगा तो सीपीयू हिट करता है वो,
नहीं
ठीक
सर,
है।
जीपीयू इनेबल है और 100% यूज हो रहा
अच्छा, तो तब ठीक है, तो आपका मॉडल का साइज का ही तब प्रॉब्लम है इन दैट केस, ठीक है।
है।
सो
ओके,
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जस्ट गो विद द क्यू लॉरा, ये वाला, ठीक है। मॉडल आप सेम रखो, जो मॉडल आप यूज कर रहे हो सेम ही मॉडल रखो। सो जस्ट रिप्लेस दिस मॉडल, ठीक है, टाइनी लामा की जगह आपका जो स्ट्रक्ट मॉडल 8B का है वो आप यूज कर लो, एंड गो विद द क्वांटाइज लॉरा, ठीक है। मॉडल साइज ही अपने आप डाउन हो जाएगा, एंड देन यू विल बी एबल टू डू अ फास्टर इन्फ्लुएंसिंग, बिकॉज आई बिलीव कि आप जो अभी कर रहे हो फुल फाइन ट्यूनिंग कर रहे हो, राइट?
यस,
हाँ, तो दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम, राइट? फुल फाइन ट्यूनिंग में सबसे बड़ा मॉडल बनता है ये,
हम्म,
ठीक है। दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम, गो विद क्यू लॉरा एंड देन चेक, इट विल नॉट स्टॉप यू। हाँ, थोड़ा सा हो सकता है कि रिजल्ट में कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो, बट आई डोंट थिंक कि लाइक कंप्यूट में इशू आएगा आपको इस इन दैट केस,
ओके,
ठीक है। दैट
और
इज दैट इज सोल्यूशन फॉर यू।
ओके, और सर सेकंड यूज केस है,
हम्म,
जो हमने मेडिचैट प्रो का प्रोजेक्ट किया था।
ठीक है, ठीक है,
सेम
ओके,
हमारे पास डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, टू टाइप ऑफ
ठीक है,
डॉक्यूमेंट्स है,
हाँ,
सारे पीडीएफ फॉर्मेट्स में।
ठीक है, ठीक है,
तो हमको अभी का यूज केस क्या है, मैंने मतलब एक सॉल्यूशन हमने ये प्रिपेयर किया उसमें से कि एक
हम्म,
डॉक्यूमेंट में इंस्ट्रक्शन है, सेट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन,
हम्म,
उसके भी आप सेकंड डॉक्यूमेंट जो है वो बना है कि नहीं, बेस्ड ऑन दैट
रिपीट
इंस्ट्रक्शन।
रिपीट रिपीट वंस अगेन, क्या था वो आपका? हाँ,
एक एक पीडीएफ है जिसमें सेट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन है,
हाँ, ओके, ठीक है,
तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट इंस्ट्रक्शन सेकंड जो डॉक्यूमेंट बना है पीडीएफ डॉक्यूमेंट में वही, तो वो
हम्म,
इंस्ट्रक्शन फॉलो किए कि नहीं वो सेकंड डॉक्यूमेंट में।
ओके, ठीक है,
तो
ठीक है,
तो अभी यूज केस क्या है कि कंपेयर करना है डॉक्यूमेंट वन इंस्ट्रक्शन डॉक्यूमेंट विद द
हम्म,
जिसने
हाँ, तो
फॉलो
ठीक है,
करके
कोई
वो किया।
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, तो आप आरएजी करो फर्स्ट डॉक्यूमेंट के साथ, जो भी वो लेटर आपको देगा टेक्निकली इंस्ट्रक्शन, ठीक है, और उसको आप फिर सिमिलैरिटी मैच करवा लो दूसरे वाले डॉक्यूमेंट के साथ।
ओके,
सिमिलैरिटी मैच वहां पर आरएजी नहीं करना, सेकंड स्टेप में आरएजी नहीं करना है, सेकंड में तो आपको सिमिलैरिटी मैच करवाना है ना, कि आपने इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया, अब वो फॉलो हुआ कि नहीं हुआ। फर्स्ट
यस,
केस आपका क्या है कि फर्स्ट केस को जाके पहले इंस्ट्रक्शन निकाले, राइट? इफ आई
यस,
एम एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट करेक्टली, so first it should go and like extract the information. Now after extracting the information, it should go and check that key this instruction has been followed or not in other, right? तो
राइट।
लाइक फर्स्ट वाले में आरईजी करेंगे, टेक्निकली वहां भी हम सिमिलरिटी मैच ही करवा रहे हैं, ठीक है, वेक्टर के साथ में। एंड देन लाइक उसको क्लोजनेस मैच करा लेंगे डॉक्यूमेंट का कि कितना क्लोज है बेसिकली द इंस्ट्रक्शन विच आई एम एबल टू जनरेट फ्रॉम दैट।
सर एंड केस इसका ये है कि हमको एक रिपोर्ट जनरेट करके देना है
अच्छा,
कि
ओके। ओके।
एक टेबुलर फॉर्मेट में कि ये सेट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन है, ये सेकंड डॉक्यूमेंट में फॉलो किए गए कि नहीं।
नहीं तो इसका इसका ना एक और बहुत सिंपल सोल्यूशन बता सकते हैं आपको हम, ठीक है, मतलब बहुत सिंपल सोल्यूशन ये है ना यहाँ पर कि आप ठीक है डॉक्यूमेंट को तो स्टोर कर रहे हो जो भी करना है,
हम्म।
फाइनली ना एक सिंपल सा एजेंट कॉल कर दो और एजेंट में ना सिस्टम प्रॉब्लम लिख दो कि दिस इज माय डॉक्यूमेंट, दिस इज माय सोर्स डॉक्यूमेंट, सो वेयर यू शुड गो एंड चेक, एंड आफ्टर एक्सट्रैक्टिंग द इंफॉर्मेशन यू शुड डू अ check with other document
ओके।
and basically like and generate this kind of a report for me. I think that will be a very simple approach and the best one.
ओके।
ठीक है, एक सिंगल एजेंट एंड देन इट विल वर्क फॉर यू। और उस एजेंट को आपको जो टूल कॉल करवाना है वो करवाना है पीडीएफ रीड करने वाला, या फिर आप आरईजी कर रहे हो वेक्टर में स्टोर कर रहे हो तो वेक्टर का एक्सेस उसको देना है बस।
ओके सर।
ठीक है, बट या दिस विल बी द सिंपलेस्ट अप्रोच, आई थिंक इट कैन बी बिल्ड लाइक विद इन आवर ऑफ टाइम।
अभी क्या हुआ था सर, मतलब
हम्म।
हमने जो मेडिचार्ट का प्रोजेक्ट किया, सेम
हाँ हाँ।
कॉन्सेप्ट मैंने हमारे सीईओ को एक्सप्लेन किया कि हम ये कर
ओके।
सकते हैं।
हाँ हाँ।
तो उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, फिर हमने मतलब इनिशियल पर्पस के लिए मॉडल चैट जीपीटी का यूज कर लिया।
ओके ओके।
क्या
हम्म
तो दोनों कंपेयर करके रिपोर्ट जनरेट करा ली और क्लाइंट को शो कर दी। क्लाइंट को पसंद आ गई और वो प्रोडक्ट ही सेल हो गया। तो वो
हम्म।
प्रोडक्ट अभी इन डेवलपमेंट भी नहीं है।
अच्छा, ओके ओके।
हाँ, तो अभी सीईओ फोर्स कर रहे हैं कि हमको 2-3 दिन में
हम्म
पूरा प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करके चाहिए।
कर दीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हो जाएगा। चलिए, क्लास कहीं तो काम आ रहा है रियल टाइम
हाँ,
में।
बहुत बहुत ज्यादा।
ठीक है भाई, यही 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 है ना लर्निंग, कि हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं उसको, कंपनी में यूज कर पा रहे हैं, और क्या चाहिए।
यस। यस
ठीक
सर।
है। ठीक है। ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर मी, एनी वन कैन गो अहेड, तबीस, नरेश, राम, आई कैन सी।
Maybe I can. Can
या
I go ahead?
या आई थिंक यू कैन गो, यस या।
Yeah.
आई थिंक it's been a long time sir since you have not joined since you have joined the class.
Yeah, it's very long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were missing your voice, by the way. We all were missing your voice.
Really? Okay. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's correct. But your lecture today is very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And now I have been building lots of products. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I revamped my site also, atalcloud.com. And if you just look at that, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
just pinged you,
Mm-hmm.
and it is totally revamped. It's now maybe you can click and share it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's now like a modern site. It's no more like legacy site. Okay,
Okay.
I have made some product live over there. One more
Mm.
product, and if you can do a small test, can you share your machine and click this atalcloud.com?
Which, okay, so let
Yeah,
you
I
have,
pinged you on the chat box.
okay.
Okay. Then we'll talk about fine tuning also, because I have done the fine tuning.
Okay, so I can, yeah.
So now this site is just go over a little bit. See, this is now a new site,
Okay.
and if you go to the projects page,
Projects page, okay.
and now see generative AI, I made it like a card looking. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
and so
Nice touch with vibe coding.
uh-huh.
I can feel it, feel the vibe coding here.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now the second project which I made live is this note taking application. Go up a
A
little bit.
note taking, okay, this one, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's live. There's a live URL. Go up, little bit up, little bit up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
click that smart note. No, no, stay there. Stay on the
Okay.
card,
Okay.
and there is a live
Okay, got
project,
it,
and there
got
is
it,
a
got it.
live
And this
link.
URL.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, just can you create an account and just, I mean, a real account. It should be your real email account. Yeah.
Okay. Confirmation code.
Did you get?
Got a verification code.
Okay.
Okay.
Now on the left side there is an icon, so you can basically change the color. There are 6, 7 colors, so that's the one thing. Then
Mm.
you can create note. Oh,
I can create a note over here. Okay.
okay.
So
Create
test,
any note. Yeah,
test,
put
test.
any file, choose any file from your system, one file or as many files you want. Attach the
Yeah.
file, attach the
Yeah.
file, attach the selected file, click the attach, okay, and then go ahead modify that file as many times as you want, okay, or attach as many files as you want, okay, and this
Hmm.
is an encrypted end-to-end uh,
Hmm.
with all the functionalities that some of my friends who are white Gora people here,
Hmm.
30, 40 years into IT, they say they have never seen anything like this
Okay.
because this is a real time using web sockets and
Hmm.
it's using this Cognito
Hmm.
with JWT token gets forwarded to AWS and then
Hmm.
it is using like ACID compliant. That means
Hmm.
your files and your information which is coming from Dynamo database
Hmm.
and your this front end is always 100% of the time in sync. So
Hmm.
you cannot. So basically, I have tested this very thoroughly. The files that you can add files, you remove files, and they will go away from the uh, uh, data lake
Hmm.
as soon as you remove it. If you add it, it will go there and it will stay in uh, sync with your data in a Dynamo database. So,
Okay. Okay.
so,
DynamoDB.
so
Hmm.
yeah, so it's using WebSockets. It's not
Hmm.
using WebSockets, AppSync, Amplify,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's using GraphQL. It's not
Hmm.
using those
Hmm.
REST APIs.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for the real time update, so
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
can, and I tried with, I put a few thousand nodes with
Hmm.
files, okay.
Hmm.
So it is super fast,
Hmm.
okay, because it can handle even million nodes without any issue because of this, the GraphQL, and
Hmm.
it's very
Hmm.
fast, very fast.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I have tried up to 39 megabyte of file, but I
Okay.
believe
Okay.
it can take 99 megabyte up to
Hmm.
file.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I tried with
Hmm.
150 that it didn't take. Okay, maybe with
Hmm.
multi-part, yes, it could, but
Okay.
but that means that it can take big files also.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And now this is I just made live this I think last week, and now
Okay.
there is another application I'm building is which is almost going to be live in couple of days.
Okay.
That will have uh, this plus lot of other, like I cloned this application
Hmm. Hmm.
and added a few more functionalities,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that is going to come as my third application. And the
Hmm.
fourth application is fine tuning, which you were just now talking about.
Okay.
That is for a law department. Okay,
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
company
Hmm.
has 8 departments,
Hmm.
so I have fine tuned all their 8 departments. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and that is like you were showing this guy about QLoRa,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's what I did with QLoRa. I could do
Hmm.
all that. Okay,
Hmm.
very easily. But
Hmm.
for fine tuning, full fine tuning, I got stuck. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
and another good thing is all my research is fully funded by AWS, so I don't
Hmm.
have to pay for anything. Okay,
That's amazing. Yeah.
and so basically they fund all my crazy ideas. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I believe maybe next week or so I will show you this fine
Hmm.
tuning,
Hmm.
which is a workflow based. Okay, this
Hmm.
fine tuning which I have done
Hmm.
for a law company. Okay, there is actually it is just my it's my wife's name company. I call it Ruby Law
Hmm. Hmm.
Office. Okay, So uh, uh, this project, fine-tuning project, fine-tunes 8 departments' data
Okay. Okay.
and with workflow. So basically,
Okay.
if it's a partner can see only partner's data.
Okay.
If it's a attorney can see only attorney's data. If it
Okay.
is a front desk, they can see their own data.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so basically, with workflow, and I'm going
Hmm.
to add, maybe I'll showcase that demo
Hmm.
next
Hmm.
time whenever I'm ready to show it. I mean, I should be
Hmm.
ready maybe in a week or so.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that gives me, I mean, uh, your lecture today was very interesting. Many of the things that you are showing, I
Hmm.
have done it,
Hmm.
and uh, and I was very happy to see that how the even the training data
Hmm.
versus the data which is fine-tuned,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
how those data I can showcase both data
Hmm.
on the
Hmm.
web to anybody.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you, sir.
so yeah, so these are the things which I am building. Yeah,
Hmm. That's
I have
amazing. That's amazing to see. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I have lots of ideas,
Hmm.
and it's just I'm passing my time because I don't have anything to do.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
so I can develop products, right? I can and all these products are basically my own creation, but based
Hmm.
upon
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
ideas. So
Hmm.
I when you deliver lecture, I get
Hmm.
your idea, but I don't use any of your technologies. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
because I use SageMaker, I use
Hmm.
Bedrock, I use Nova Light, Nova Micro, those kind of models. So I use all
Hmm.
those because they are free for me and they are
Hmm.
high end. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so
Ah,
so
that's okay. That's okay. You can use
yeah,
any of
yeah,
this tech. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah. So from you, I learned the ideas. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and then I use those ideas, convert those ideas into AWS technologies. Okay.
That's amazing, sir. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I had an interview couple
hmm.
of days with Capgemini, but I
Okay.
refused to join them
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
because that was like migrating mainframe to AWS.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
said I'm more interested in Gen AI now, and
Hmm.
when they said that it's a Java, I said no, I don't want to deal with Java.
Hmm.
So because I used to work for Capgemini before, but if there is like a the generative AI project, when it comes some project, I will take it. So how do you like this my new app?
Sorry, sir. What was that?
Uh, how did you like my new app? The
Yeah,
app
but
which
it's good actually.
no.
It's good. Like UI interface wise and everything, it's good. Yeah.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean those people who have seen my friends, they say yeah, they like it very much.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Uh,
actually good. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir. Yeah. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
This is what I wanted to share. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Elengo, please go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
As we discussed before, I have one project that I have the PDF file, like
Okay.
a RFP document. In the
Mm-hmm.
document, the image and related informations, like image means how much quantity, how much the description, uh,
Mm-hmm.
amount details will be there. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
sometime it will be the tabular format. Sometime it will be like a description, like a step by step. I
Okay.
need to get the related image and related description, related quantity, these things.
Mm-hmm.
So after I retrieved, I will match with the data. If I have in the BigQuery, I will match this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, data with that table and
Mm.
get the price and calculate. This is the things. Now
Okay.
I don't know how to get the image and relevant data. Maybe
Mm.
same what you said with this I said before. With the library we can get the informations, but I need
Okay.
to get the image and related data.
Mm-hmm.
How I can get this?
So image and related data you want to fetch from a PDF, right?
Yes, PDF.
Image and data, just try to use any like a vision based LLMs. I think that will be able to like a work and that will be able to bring all the images for you.
But yeah, I tried before also. But if
Mm.
I take the image,
Mm.
I need to bring the for example, in the table, in the one
Mm.
column is image,
Mm.
another column is different related description, related quantity or something. I need to take the related informations. If I have only the image, I can take the image and can take the text from the image I can do. I need to
Hmm.
take the image and also related informations belongs to that image.
Related information of that, and that is available, right, in a PDF document.
Yeah, in the PDF is available, but sometime it will come as a table of in table, one
That's
column
okay.
image.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So I think, yeah, VLLM is going to work, plus text-based parsing. Anyhow, you will be doing a text-based parsing of the entire PDF, right? So by using
Okay,
maybe a PyTreasuract PDF for like a reader or libraries basically, and there are
okay.
like other library as well. Generally, I use PyTreasuract or something like that. So just use that. It will be able to do it.
So I can take how I take the image from that time.
VLLM. Just try to use a vision-based LLMs. Some
Vision.
based
Okay.
LLMs. Yeah. So that it will be able to understand the images and it will be able to extract it.
So it will bring the
I mean, like just
images.
if you have to just extract the image part, then we don't need it. If we are looking for a understanding about the images, then we'll need it. So if we just have to extract the images, in that case, like a PDF parser is going to work for me, right? Because
Okay.
I can just try to like categorize it, that if there is an image, let's try to separate it and keep it in some other document, in some other folder or some other places,
No,
right?
I need to take the image and also the related
Then
values
then then VLLM
another
then
column.
VLLM is required then, right? Because you have to like
VLLM. Okay, I
vision
will.
based LLMs basically, not like exactly a VLLM for hosting. So vision based LLMs, which is required, so which will be able to understand your images as well as it will be able to understand your text. Then
So
you
it
can
it will take the images in the table, if it's available in the table, if it take the images are related values in another
informations,
column,
yeah,
everything.
exactly, everything, because it's been built for image understanding, right?
Image and text also.
So image and text also, more or less, those who will be able to understand the images, they are very good with the text.
Okay, okay, fine, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you. I
it will work
have
and give a solution.
okay. I
Yeah.
have another doubt. Today the session is good. For
Hmm.
example, if I use a fine tune, I
Hmm.
know the data which is not update frequently, the best I
Hmm.
can go for the fine tuning. If
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
update it frequently, I need to use the rack functionality.
RAG, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
rack functionality.
Hmm.
The thing is, if I use a fine tune, this is the one-time work. I don't need to pay every time, right? So if I use a rack, do I need to pay, the cloud provider will calculate will pay for each time when I go and take the data from the vector database and bring the data, they will calculate charge for each time
Yeah.
retrieve.
So basically, it depends. You have to check their pricing tier. For example, if I'm not using any like managed cloud services, for example, Quadrant or something. So I'm using my own AWS and I'm trying to spin my own machine and I'm installing everything in my own machine. In that case, my machine is reserved. So I will have to pay the reserve charge or fixed charge, by the way, right?
Okay,
Let's suppose if I'm going ahead with Quadrant or this kind of a provider, so they are going to charge you on storage, plus they are going to charge you on transactions as well. So whenever you will hit the query, whenever they will try to do a cosine similarity search or any other similarity search, they are going to charge you. So everyone try to charge you in a different way, right?
okay,
So you can either go with that or maybe go with a fixed cost. Maybe you can like spin your own instances and then use it there. In that way, like it is going to be fixed.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Okay, next one, Ram, please
Hi,
go ahead.
hi, Sudhanshu. Could you please share your screen? I have some question from the coding part.
Okay, fine. So yeah, my screen is visible, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, loading.
Hmm.
Yeah, we are able to see a lot of things today, but where is
Hmm.
the designing factor to improve the inferencing part and reduce the size of the model or something? So which code section is it relevant for to does it control those part?
So basically, you have to watch last Sunday's lecture. I believe you have missed last Sunday's lecture because
Yeah.
all the discussion have started from there. This is a second discussion from this project. So ideally,
Okay.
we already have done 2 3 hour of discussion in my previous session. So where we already talked about a design side of it, that why we are doing, what happens in a Cora, what happens in a Prefect, what happens in a
Mm-hmm.
quantized LoRa, why quantized LoRa is one of the optimized one. Everything has been discussed in a last section.
Yeah, the batch size and learning rates and yeah, those
Not
things,
just
right?
not that is the training parameter, right? But we have started our discussion with the type of the training. That what is Quora, what is preferred, what is LoRa, what is fine tuning, what is DPO,
Full,
and then
yeah.
data set discussion also we have done.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I watched the video, last video. I know the difference
Okay,
on those.
okay.
My specific question on those,
Hmm.
LoRa and Q LoRa are the best than other full fine tuning, right? So
Not a best
my
one, I would say. Yeah, not a
depends.
best one. I would say optimize. I mean, like the smallest one, the lightweighted
Uh,
one.
a lightweighted one, correct.
Yeah.
So my question is that there is some learning rate and epoch or few more things when we pass in our code, right?
Yes,
So those
yes.
things are the control and to improve our inferencing on the model, or
No, not inferencing actually, it's training. So these are
mm,
the trainable parameter, right? And basically, these parameter is coming from a basic, very basic
okay,
neural network concept. Even that I have explained in that class, and
yes,
I said that if you are not aware about a basic neural network, so maybe you can go and watch just one or two my deep learning videos. So where I have like done these kind of a training, because this is epoch means wherever you will train the network, you will set the epoch, you will set the batch size, you will set the learning rate, you will set all of these parameter. So this is by default for any network you are going to use it, and you will have to play with the parameter, right?
okay,
I think I have
okay.
done the explanation for that.
Okay, all right. I will go through that one. And one more thing for this bunch of coding, right? Is there
Hmm.
any possibility can we make it breakpoints and try to understand the whole flow? Is it possible?
Yeah, anytime you can make a breakpoint. So if you have to put a breakpoint anywhere, so you can just try to like put this, right?
Uh,
And then
we
run
can
into.
can we run it? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
maybe.
I mean, like it's a IDs feature, right? It's like not nothing related to this one. So it's a basically VS Code feature. You can put a breakpoint on it, run with the breakpoint debug mode.
Yeah, I'm asking when we run the after the Docker installation, right? You
Hmm,
have
hmm,
done the Docker part, right? When we get
hmm,
the API server, right? Is
hmm,
it
hmm.
possible to is it possible to start the breakpoint from those place? And when we click the URL, what is happening in behind? Can we track the whole things?
Inside a Docker, so you will be able to see everything inside a Docker logs, by the way. Or so here, that is the
Mm-hmm.
first place, or maybe you can just try to call Docker Compose log f. So that is going to show you all the logs inside it. Now, what is happening inside it? So technically, this is happening. API server we are running, right? So if you
Mm-hmm.
have to track this one, so call API server and then track it. Inside a Docker,
Okay.
Docker will show you a Docker log that, okay, so what has happened basically. If you have to like run something into a debugger mode, basically, and then you have to check all these lines one by one, then call API
Mm-hmm.
server, because technically your Docker is calling API server.py file, right? This file.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Yeah, so run, so you can, I have already shown you, right? So you can run like a Python API server.py file directly, and then run it in a debug mode, and then you can test it.
Okay, fine.
Docker
And
will show you
yeah,
just a Docker log basically.
yeah. So when we Docker compose it up and all the application, everything, it is running inside the Docker. It's not in our local, right?
Yeah, inside a box, a small box. Yes.
Inside the box. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do we often run the fine tuning in real time projects? So it is a routine activity, or is it be will it be
No,
taken by infra team
it's a once in a while kind of activity, fine tuning. So once we have trained, because we don't do a model training on a daily basis, by the way.
days? Is
Maybe
it is
once in a
mhm.
quarter we try to do it, something like that.
Yeah. Will it be done by the developer or infra team?
It will be done by a development team.
Development
See,
team. Okay.
nowadays, anyhow, people are like team size is getting shrink, right? So expectation will be very simple, that you should know everything, even in our big companies nowadays, right? That is a trend, because we all know that if someone knows it, it's very easy for them, right? You don't need a big team who will manage just a infra or this or that. So technically, it will be done by a small like, piece of the team all the time, and
Okay. Yeah.
everything
Just.
starting from
Mhm.
like training till hosting.
Yeah, right. Okay. But challenging will be also increased, right? The team has been reduced to the challenging will be increased.
No, not like that. Depends upon how efficient my team members are. Right. If team
Yeah.
members are not well learned and well trained, in that case, obviously, there will be a huge challenges. So they will end up scratching their heads. If they are well trained and they have experience, in that case, managers can sit
Mm.
peacefully. Team will do the job.
Okay.
Simple.
Nice.
Depends on
And
people. It's a people thing, right? Simple.
yeah, agree with you. And will it be apply this fine tuning in our normal machine learning? this fine tuning technique?
It's a LLM fine tuning basically.
Is in purely LLM. Is there any
Yeah.
fine tuning methods for our normal human based machine learning techniques there?
I mean, like for machine learning, we don't do a fine tuning. For vision
You
based
don't
model or
know.
NLP based model, we do a fine tuning. Machine learning, so we
Okay.
build a model.
Yeah.
Machine
Okay.
learning is
For the
it's
deep
a,
learning.
it's a very very small equation, right? It's a very lightweight equation, so we don't go with the fine tuning in general for machine learning.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But
Yeah,
are we go with the full volume data, huge volume data with our machine learning?
doesn't
Is it
matter.
applicable?
See, that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Doesn't depend on the data. How many parameter we are training, that matters most, right? That is the
Yeah.
actual thing
Yeah.
which matters. So in machine learning, if I'm trying to like train y is equal to mx plus c, I just have two parameter m and c. So I just have to train those two parameter, right? So like doesn't matter how much data we have.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. 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 Okay, Naresh, please go ahead with the question.
Yeah, hi Sudhanshu. It
Yeah.
was a great lecture.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to know, in between my internet connection was stable, so
Okay.
I am not aware whether someone asked this question or not.
No, no,
So
it's fine. It's fine. You can ask. Yeah.
how do you be evaluate that whatever fine tuning we have done? So how do
Hmm.
you evaluate whether this, how do you evaluate basically like fine tuning is it went well or not? How do we evaluate?
Same precision recall model evaluation technique.
Okay,
Yeah. It's a model. By the end of the day, after finding what we have done, we have created the model, right?
correct. So
So
because
technique is going to be same precision recall, F1 score.
because the question reason behind the question is I told you OpenAI model I have fine tuned.
Hmm. Hmm.
But when I asked some question, because I have given very less data set, around
Hmm.
25
Hmm.
to
Hmm. Hmm.
50 data sets I have given.
Maybe less data set, maybe less epoch
Uh,
possible.
yeah, so whenever I ask the question, even though the answer is related to my data set, still it is
Hmm.
picking from general content.
Maybe you have not like trained it for like enough number of epoch. That could be the problem.
Mhm.
Means epoch means you have not reduced the loss
So
basically.
are we okay? Are we going to cover this evaluation part also in the coming lectures or?
Evaluation, yeah, I can like talk about this anytime. But again, I think we all know the model evaluation, precision recall, F1 score, just try to call it, confusion matrices we are aware about. And again, like what kind of a evaluation, what kind of a like a model that we have built. So if it is a mathematical model, then evaluation score will be different. If it is just a NLP, so in that case, blue score will come into a picture, right? Which has been used for language evaluation, by the way. So it depends what is the nature of the model we are creating. But in general, yeah, precision recall and F1. But it also depends upon the specific model creation in a specific segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my second question is like related to my company's project. We are into
Mm.
home automation domain.
Okay. Okay.
So we have a smart fan, smart lights, etc.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So we are going to give. We have already app to control all these appliances.
Hmm.
Now we are thinking of giving voice based control of these devices.
Okay. Okay.
So, what should be my approach? Should I use direct any OpenAI LLM so that command I will send it to OpenAI LLM and then I will expect structured JSON output, what operation user wants to
No,
do.
just use some library, TTS library, text to speech library. Just use it. Don't
That
have to
is
use
fine.
a model for
So,
that. That will work.
but how do I know that which operation user wants to do and what is the device name? Because device name will be different for different devices, right? So, how do I extract from the text?
Okay, so device name, how you are going to extract. So in that case, whenever we build any kind of application, so basically it try to, like fetch a lot of information from a client itself. So for example, if something is running in my mobile, right? So let's suppose if I'm using WhatsApp. So WhatsApp can see that which mobile I'm using, what is the version of the OS running in my mobile, what time, everything. Everything I will be able to like get as a detail. So that by default, any application you are going to create, you will be able to access.
No, no. Like let's say if user asks turn on my fan one, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I need to know that he wants to turn on fan one, right? And the command will be different in different cases. So sometimes he may say turn on fan one or fan one turn on. In different
Yeah,
different.
okay. So if this is the okay, so I was like giving you answer in a different context. So okay, if this is the context of this one, pass. So you have done text to speech, right? After text to speech, you will pass your text to the, sorry, speech to text. So speech to text conversion, and then pass your text to a LLMs. LLM can understand, or agents technically.
Okay. So should I use this? And my question is, should I use LLMs like OpenAI so that it is very easy to implement, or
Yes.
should I take any tiny model and do the fine tuning that if command is like this, you have to parse like
if
you have to
if it
parse
should
and
if it should run in a very very small devices, right, without even internet, so in that case, quantized model. Answer
okay.
to one. Second answer. So let's suppose if device is having a internet access, right? In that case, you can try to use any model which has been hosted on any server in this entire world. That could be a OpenAI model, that could be your own model which is hosted on your server. So that will be my answer. So tiny device without internet, then quantized. It's not tiny devices, internet access, in that case, anywhere.
Okay. So now related to fine tuning. So
Hmm.
let's say I have a llama model with 1 B params or 3 billion parameters, whatever it is.
Okay.
Now, if I want to do this model for a specific language, like Kannada or Telugu, whatever
Hmm.
language,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
so what kind of fine tune approach should I follow? Full parameter fine
First of all, you have to check whether this model supports that language or not, because if you are like going ahead with your languages, and if that doesn't understand, it's not been trained, then it's not an ideal way to go ahead with. So first, select a model which understand your language in whatever language you are looking for, and then if you would like to go ahead with basically full fine tuning, go ahead with that. LoRa, Prefect, Cora, you can go ahead with anything that you want. But
Okay.
again, case by case, like everywhere you should not like, what is the your end goal, depends upon that you should choose a training approach.
You see, my end goal is like, let's say a user speaks in Kannada.
if
It should
if
convert into related English command.
Okay, so language translation basically,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so in that case, why to train the model? You will not be able to get all enough kind of a data, so it's always better to use a already trained model. If
Okay.
someone has already released a model which can understand English to Kannada, Kannada to English, just go ahead and use that model. Simple. It will do
Got it.
it. And I think all this big model that we have seen nowadays, it's actually very good with most of these languages.
Yeah, I have implemented using OpenAI
Hmm.
already, but my
Hmm.
company is forcing me to have own LLM in our infrastructure. So
Then
that's
then
like
then OpenAI have also released OpenAI 20B OSS, right? And
yeah, yeah.
120B. Use that.
Okay, got
Simple.
it.
That can work in anywhere, right? In your server. You don't have to rely upon the OpenAI servers.
Yeah, got it, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, Uday, please go ahead.
Uh, Hi sir, am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, Uday, you are audible. Yeah.
सर एक क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे फाइन ट्यूनिंग हमने की अभी लोकल में है,
ठीक है।
और लोकल मॉडल से आपने उस दिन दिखाया था।
हम्म।
नॉर्मली सर कंपनी में हमको जीपीयू में वो स्क्रिप्ट कैसे चला के ट्रेन करते हैं, वो वाला पार्ट थोड़ा
हम्म।
अगर आप कवर करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा
कौन सा एक बार फिर से बोलिए, फिर से।
जैसे सर अभी लोकल में हमने उसमें चलाया था ना जीपीयू
हम्म
में, मॉडल ट्रेन
हम्म
किए थे उस दिन हमने देखे थे फाइन ट्यूनिंग
हम्म
क्लास में।
हम्म।
बट नॉर्मली कंपनी में तो हमको मतलब मुझे जीपीयू सेटअप और ये सब चीज़ें अभी नहीं आती, बट वो
हम्म
स्क्रिप्ट हमको जीपीयू में चलानी पड़ेगी व्हेन वी
हम्म
आर ट्रेनिंग इन
हम्म
कॉर्पोरेट। तो
हम्म।
ये वाला एक क्लास में अगर कवर
सेम
करेंगे सर।
सेम सेम चल जाएगा, चला कर दिखा देंगे, डोंट वरी। इसलिए तो आपका ये क्लास आने वाला है ना, बेसिकली जहाँ पर क्लाउड में हम लोग इसको करने वाले हैं, तो जीपीटी सेम ही चीज चला के दिखाएंगे वो क्लाउड में भी, एग्जैक्ट सेम, ट्रेनिंग में भी
हाँ
और इन्फ्लुएंसिंग दोनों।
हाँ सर, मतलब ये ट्रेनिंग शायद
नहीं,
पटी और इससे कुछ होता है क्या, उससे कनेक्ट
अब
करना?
पटी से और विन एसएपी से, पटी से हम उसका एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, जो कि हमने पहले भी किया हुआ है, हाइपर स्टैक क्लाउड, राइट, वो तो पहले भी दिखा चुके हैं। और ये फाइल अगर मेरे को ट्रांसफर करना है वहां पर, तो उसके लिए हम यूज करेंगे विन एसएपी। मतलब अगर विंडोज से कर रहे हैं तो विन एसएपी से ये फाइल पूरा ट्रांसफर जाएगा मेरे जीपीयू में, कहीं भी कोई इंस्टेंस रहे, एंड देन लाइक विल कैन रन द ट्रेनिंग। ये तो कल
ओके
ही
तो ओके
ये
हाँ।
करना है तो ये कल कर सकते हैं, ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा नहीं, वैसे भी आधे घंटे।
हाँ सर, ये पास हो जाएगा तो बहुत
कुछ
अच्छा हो
है नहीं, आई
जाएगा।
थिंक। हाँ ठीक है, कल ही कर सकते हैं ये वाला चीज। ठीक है,
जी
इट्स
सर।
वेरी वेरी इजी।
यस सर, एक और क्वेश्चन था सर, जैसे अभी
हाँ।
हमने अलग अलग फाइन ट्यून मॉडल बनाए हैं
हम्म।
एचआर मार्केटिंग, जैसे हमारा जो यूज केस है सेम है बिल्कुल, फाइनेंस एचआर ये सब है, बट
तो इनके अलग अलग फाइन ट्यून मॉडल बनाते हैं या फिर एक ही मॉडल बनाते हैं जिसमें सब
नहीं,
तरीके की
वो तो
कैटेगरीज?
डिपेंड करता है ना। अब क्लाइंट आके बोला या आप बोल रहे हो कि नहीं मेरा फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट काफ़ी बड़ा है तो हमको एक ही मॉडल चाहिए, हर एक डिपार्टमेंट वाइज, क्योंकि सारी कंपनी बड़ी होगी ना। अब ऐसा नहीं कि एक बना के सब जगह उसको यूज़ करेंगे, राइट। सबका अलग अलग। अब जैसे कि एचआर पॉलिसी जो होता है वो सारे लाइक कंपनी के लिए सेम ही होता है ऑलमोस्ट, ठीक है। सबके सबके ऊपर सेम ही चीज़ अप्लीकेबल होता है, तो एक एचआर के लिए मॉडल बना दिए, ठीक है। तो मतलब डिफरेंट डिफरेंट ही रखते हैं। इफ आई टॉक अबाउट अ बिग प्रोसेस देन
हाँ,
विल कीप इट सेपरेट। इट्स बेटर टू कीप इट सेपरेट। मतलब मॉडुलर
ओके,
कोडिंग करते हैं ना, अगर कोड बेस मेरा बड़ा हो तो, ठीक है।
राइट,
सिमिलरली यहाँ पर भी हम लोग मॉडल फाइन ट्यूनिंग कर रहे हैं, तो लेट्स कीप इट सेपरेट।
ओके सर। तो फिर अगर सेपरेट सेपरेट रखेंगे हम तो इसके
हम्म
पहले फिर एक क्लासिफिकेशन लेयर जो लगानी लगानी पड़ेगी शायद, कि
हम्म
यूजर क्वेरी पहले
एजेंट
क्लासिफाई
एजेंट
होगी।
वहां पर एजेंट डाल दीजिए। वहां पर सिंपल एजेंट कि ये 5 मॉडल आपके पास है, ये 5 मॉडल को आप कॉल कर सकते हो। तो आप पहले समझो कि एचआर रिलेटेड क्वेरी है कि पहले ये और ये, एंड देन बेस्ड ऑन दैट अपने आप ही एचआर रिलेटेड क्वेरी है तो वो एचआर वाले मॉडल को कॉल कर लेगा, फाइनेंस रिलेटेड क्वेरी है तो फाइनेंस को कॉल कर लेगा। इस तरह से हम लोग करते हैं।
राइट, हाँ,
मतलब एजेंट मेरा राउट कर रहा है बेसिकली कि कौन से मॉडल
राइट,
यूज करके रिस्पॉन्स निकालने हैं।
राइट, आई थिंक, थैंक्स सर। बस यही
हाँ
यही
हाँ
थैंक यू सर।
हाँ, थैंक यू। Okay, so fine everyone. Hope all of you have enjoyed this session a lot. So tomorrow, as Uday has requested, so like he told me that if we can see the same thing running on a GPU. So before starting, we'll see if we can start MCP or not. So if all of you will agree, I'll run the same thing on H100 in terms of training plus inferencing both, and then like we can get a real time global API. So what do you say, guys? Whoever is here, yeah, shall we do it? Okay, then let's do that first, and then we'll start with MCP, Model Context Protocol. Okay, fine. So fine, guys. With that, thank you so much. Take care, and see you again. File I have already uploaded in a previous section, and even with this recording, I'll upload the file. But yeah, so files are already available, so you should not wait for me to upload the recording. You can start your work and experimentation if you want even now. So fine, guys. With that, take care. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow, same time.